What the fuck? Why I am so far from the PC? What is going on? Guys, we have FPS. Wow. Anything else that I should be forgetting about? No, right? I guess. I think I am not so loud now. I don't know why. I might. Let me see. Well, yeah, I'm not going to check in reality. Anyways, start this. Now I shall try to. Okay, the clock is ticking, as they will say. So, let me see. I need to make this bigger. What bigger? What can rhyme with bigger? Bigger. Bigger. Yeah, this. We copy this, we copy that. Let me place this over here also. This a link. I shouldn't have anything copied, right? I have already. The image, the screenshot, yeah. This over here, we are live, yeah? Yeah, we're live. Also, why did it lag? Bro, what the fuck? Anyways. Paste this over here also. Let me close this also. Let me check this. Yeah, well, we don't have to check audio still. Let me. I don't have a desktop audio, right? Yeah. Let me ignore this. Also set up this. Open this. Where change this, close this. Twitter. The Twitter was made, no? Twitter, please don't crash, my man. Not when I am trying to use you. What is going on with the PC? Why is everything not working right now, out of nowhere? Hello? What the fuck is going on? We're live, yeah. We didn't crash. What is going on with my browser? Hello? My man, do you want to work? What the fuck? Okay, it was sent. Let me close this. Now we need to. I think I can make this. Right? Let me see. What else? I can close this. Close. I activated the timer. Yeah. Okay. I can also, in the meanwhile, start to work on here. Yeah, this is probably turned off. Also, what is it? Fuck. Yeah, here. So I got a tiny brain moment. So /r, yeah, check. No, not this one. Fuck, this one. Okay. Also here. Let me place this over here also. Fuck, this is wrong. Yeah, I fucked up this shit. This is so sad. I misspelled something. Let me see. Over here, space, there it is. Please actualize. Hello, 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 hello. No, I guess, fuck this. Then, next thing, let me see. Create over here. 38. There it is. What else? Ah, yeah, I guess the PC is kind of light, yeah? A little bit. A tiny bit. Almost nothing compared to before. I guess, I don't know. Something like that. Also, oh, yeah, I have to. Fuck. Twitch. Yeah, I can make this one. So, anyways, we're going to not use that stuff. If I can't make it in time. Why did you not edit yourself, my bro? What is the problem? Ah, there it is. Now also we are over here. This is working. We don't have a bot, right? Let me see. Yeah. Yeah, we don't have a bot. Yeah, what? What? I guess. I don't know. I guess. Anyways, continuing. I can have this over here. I should have forgotten about anything, right? Well, yeah. I mean, I can check my audio. I have this property set up here. Why does it sound so weak? Hello? What is test? Yeah, I guess I need to check audio now instead of later. Test. Let me see. Hello. Test. 1, 2, 3. Hello. How does this sound? Let me see. It sounds weird, I think. I mean, it sounds kind of the same than yesterday. I guess. It doesn't sound that bad, I will say, but yeah, it has a little bit of a difference compared to before. Yeah, it is better than yesterday, as we say here. So yeah, not that much to add, I guess. I can move on from this after some minutes. We have some time, so I will try to, in the meanwhile, stretch. Let me see. I have this over here. Don't be forgetting about anything, I guess. I don't know. Get this sent? Yeah. No? Let me see. Just in case. Yeah. I can mark this as rest. And okay, here. Let me. Okay, yeah. I can have some minutes for me. Then I guess. Oh man, amazing to see that we are here in time properly. Probably something like that. I don't know. What a nice thing to hire it. Hashtag hire it. Anyways. Yeah. Here we are, I would say, after so long. Well, I mean, yeah, we have kind of a long night in front of us right now. I would prefer to add. So, certainly, we will have to find ourselves entertained with what we can do. I believe I am not forgetting anything. If I am not wrong. If I am wrong, shoots, no, I guess not. Yeah, anyways, here we are in streaming. And amazing to see that I was capable of getting here in time. that I certainly say. I didn't expect to make it in time, so nice, very very nice. Um, let me move to here. Check this. I have to fit this over here. Let me move it over here. Okay. Let me get this in a more comfortable position. Fuck this. Okay, like that. Yeah, I guess we're fine with this. We have like 1 minute and so. Yeah, we made it basically. The microphone sounds weird or something. Let me see. Like this, it sounds better. It peaks more or something like that. I guess I don't know what. What? Why does it peak more or something like that? It is working, no? It should be working. Let me, just in case, let me add 0.9 decibels of gain. 1.6. Just to make sure. And also let me check over here. Yeah, we shouldn't be peaking, but also we shouldn't be so randomly low sometimes. Let me close this, and we're fine to 10 after 20 seconds. Well, yeah, we made it in time, I guess. After a very crazy week, we made it in time. it is Monday, but yeah, after a crazy week, we made it in time. Let me see. Yeah, not that much more to add. So, wow, hello everybody, welcome. After such a long time, we get back here. Amazing. This is the what is the promised land. That is what we have in front of us right now. The most cherished and promised land. The one where the dreams come true. The land of imagination. Wow. I don't know. Hello everybody. It has been certainly a nice time since the last occasion that we got here. A very a very enjoyable tiny break, let's say, because in reality it wasn't that long. It wasn't also that short, I will have to say. And certainly I didn't even expect to be able to stream today. And I ended up being capable of doing so. So yeah. Very, very much surprised, as they will say. Well, I mean, how to not enjoy a chance like this one after probably not having anything of this realm for like, I don't know, maybe the whole last week, probably. So yeah, what I can say is beautiful to be here and very enjoyable to have the capacity of utilizing our time on all of these things. So yeah, today we have basically thinking after a little bit of introspection, I reached the conclusion that today we are going to keep going a little bit with the Mahabharata. It has been a long time since we did anything of this sort, so yeah, we shall continue before I end up not doing anything like this for so long. So yeah, very much enjoyable, I would say. And as always, hello once again, hello everybody, hello viewers, lookers, pod watchers, hello everyone. It has been not that long. We are trying to go back into base after everything that has happened. So yeah, here we are. Well, yeah, I guess I can continue without further ado into the main content. Do not make it unnecessarily long when it simply is just another average introduction. So yeah, as always, please, I hope you are ready for this because here we go. transition. There we are. Let me see. I have to make this over here. I have to fit this a little bit more on screen because I don't see it. And there it is. Amazing. So yeah, here we are with the Mahabharata, obviously continuing where we left from last time, almost 2 weeks ago. Was the last occasion that we read anything. Yeah, we are still on the beginnings of the Pandavas taking their 12 years break from society, living in a jungle or something like that, if I am not wrong. So very much nice, and so far everything going. It was very deep. These last sessions of reading, it was very, I would say, kind of profound, with the different ideas and the different propositions that were mentioned and all of that. So certainly I will expect these new ones to be on the same wavelength almost. But if we don't have the possibility of finding anything like that at the very least, we can expect, as always, the Mahabharata to contain entertaining stories, I would say. I did a very tiny quick reading. No, not reading. Quick skimming over the next cantos that we have ahead, and it seemed to be a little bit deep in, as they would say, jnana, as in knowledge and all of that. So yeah, I guess with this we can commence. Yeah. I shouldn't be forgetting about anything. So yeah, moving on. Canto 14. Arangaka Parva continua. Yudhishthira says, Krishna, where were you? Away from Dwaraka? What did you do while you were away? Krishna says, Bharata Rishabha, I went forth to raise the city of Salva, best of the Kurus. Listen to why I did this. Hero? Are we? Do not tell me that my browser crashed. No, you can tell me this, my man. You can't tell me that it crashed. That is why it is. No, oh my god. Yeah. The whole PC is out of nowhere struggling. And yeah, here. Lag, wow. What a beautiful thing to play. Give it a second. Yeah, okay, there it is. It was unnecessarily uncooperative. Oh my god. It is crashing. What is going on, man? What is the problem? What is so heavy that you can't run, bro? What is the problem? Literally, what is the problem? Can I close something? Do I have something that I shouldn't have open? Let me change from here to here. I literally have no idea why this isn't working. Do I have any background process running that I shouldn't have? I have the filters. I could try to close Discord, I guess. I mean, I might not. Yeah. I might not. Anyways, is it work? It is work, I guess. Let me. No, it is laggy. What is going on? This is quality content. This is what I came here for, I guess. I don't know. Well, I can keep reading a little bit in the meanwhile. Tiorra Hasuya Yagna, I slew Damagosha's son, Sisupala, mighty arm and of great energy, because the evil one. What? Can I continue? Because that evil one could not bear to see me being given to Purodasa. Can I continue? Okay. We are not lying so far. I don't know. Hearing that Sisupala was slain, Salva, burning with anger, went to Dwaraka while I was away in Indraprastha with you, arriving in a chariot made of precious metals. The Saubha, he engaged the young Berezhny princess, bulls of our line. Without mercy, he slaughtered many young Berezhny heroes and devastated all the gardens of our city. Mahabharata, he roared, "Where is Krishna, that wretch of the Berezhny race? Vasudeva's evil son? I mean to humble him, no, to humble his pride in battle. Tell me, O Anartas, where he is. I will go and kill him who slew Kamsa and Kesin, and then return. Be my weapons, I swear I will not return without slaying him." Roaring again and again, "Where is he? Where is he?" The lord of the Sauha dashed here and there, wanting battle with me. Salva also raged. "He has dared kill Sisupala, and I will send him to Yama's house today. I must kill Hanardana, for he slew my brother, who was just a boy of tender years, and not on a field of battle, but while my brother was unprepared." Raging and howling thus, abusing me violently, he flew up into the sky in his magical chariot, the Sobha which could fly anywhere at his very will. I returned to Dvoraka and heard what the evil king of Martika had said about me. I grew angry, O king, and considering his attack on Anarta, his abuse of me, and his intolerable arrogance, I decided to kill him. I set out from Dwavarati to slay the lord of the Sobha. I looked for him and found him on an island in the sea. I blew on my Panchahanya, challenging Salva to battle. However, at that moment, a host of Danavas attacked me, and I slew them all. Mahabharata, it was because of this that I could not come to you then. As soon as I heard about the game of dice at Hastinapura, I have come to see you and comfort you in distress. Yeah, basically, so far, not that much deep of a take to have here. Certainly, it seems like a good excuse, let's say, what prevented Krishna from being with the Pandavas, but certainly, yeah, it doesn't have that much of a deep sense. One of the few concepts that might seem to be mildly interesting is the idea that as Krishna was the reincarnation of the primal god of the Hindus, maybe this particular enemy of his is also very relevant in the story, but as it hasn't been revealed so far, I can't really say it with certainty. So maybe it isn't really relevant. So yeah, anyways, I might as well simply continue so far. There is not that much of a take to have, aside from the obvious one that was the just in case, the idea of Mahabharata. It was because of this that I could not come to you then, and as soon as I heard about the game of dice at Hastinapura, I have come to see you and comfort you in your distress. Kind of obvious that it talks about the property of the kind of obligation that everybody has with those who they decide to call friends, towards being close to them and giving comfort to those who we decide to associate ourselves with, in a sense of it is our necessity to do it, because it says that this king, Krishna, stopped everything that he was doing. And certainly it has also been talked about before. Krishna is literally the most important character to a certain extent, even if the story revolves around the Pandavas and the Kurus and everything like that. He is still very much meaningful. Even in that context of being a secondary character. So yeah, it reveals very, very much that it is a good obligation to sustain ourselves too, let's say. The one of being close with our precious ones, I will argue, when we know that they are in distress, because certainly before that he even himself said so, he wasn't with them, because there was kind of no necessity of it. So yeah, anyways, continuing. Canto 15. Aranyaka Parva continued. Yudhishthira says, Krishna, tell us in detail about the death of the Lord of the Sobha. You have whetted my curiosity. Krishna says, when Salva heard that I had killed Sisupala, he came to Dwaravati. Dwaravati, and with his army besieged that city from above and around. Keeping himself in the sky, he began his assault with a heavy shower of weapons of every kind. Bharata Dwaraka was fortified on all sides with pennons, arches, soldiers, walls, turrets, miners. Her streets were barricaded with spikes. She had towers, storehouses full of provisions, engines for hurling burning brands and other fiery missiles, and vats of scalding oil and water. There were skins for carrying water to drink, trumpets, towers we had, drums by thousands, lances and pitchforks, satagnis, halayudhas, rockets, balls of stone, battle axes, iron shields, and other engines for flinging iron balls, bullets, and steaming fluids. Many chariots defended Dwaraka, Kuruvyagra, with Maharatas like Gada, Samba, Udhava, and other great heroes, all nobly born, tried in battle, and who could resist any enemy. All these positioned themselves at their commanding posts with horsemen and standard bearers, and began to defend the city. Ugrasena, Udhava, and others ordered that no one should drink throughout the city to prevent any folly or carelessness, knowing that Salva would destroy them if they were in the least careless. All the Vrishnis and Anhakas remained sober and watchful. The soldiers made all the mimes, singers and dancers of Anarta leave Dwaravaka, and they sank the bridges leading to the sea city. Bows were forbidden to ply, and long spikes raised upright in the moats which ring Dwaravati. The land around the city for 2 yohanas is always dug up in pits and holes in which explosives are hidden. Anaka, or city fortress, is naturally protected and well defended and stocked with all kinds of weapons. Because of all this, Dwaraka was well prepared to counter any attack. Why? She resembled Indra's own Amaravati. When Salva came, no one could enter or leave the city of the Vrishnis and Anhakas without giving a prearranged secret signal. All the streets of the town, and the open spaces too, were filled with numberless elephants and horses. Mahabaho, all our soldiers were paid handsomely and given plentiful rations, weapons and clothes. All of them were paid in gold, all of them were in some way obliged to us, and all were of tried valor. Yudhishthira, of eyes like lotus leaves, so comprehensively did Ugrasena defend Dwaravaka. Yeah, I mean, I think there is something to say properly in the sense of the idea that, yeah, I believe I am overanalyzing this, but the whole concept of being so prepared for every single type of attack and having so many properly arranged settings for the sake of having the chance of defending against any kind of problem can be correlated to this whole idea that we tend to talk about here of not being, let's say, ignorant towards what can become a problem in the future when we know that certainly we do not exist in the void and things tend to apply to ourselves. Therefore, if we have the possibility, as it was presented here, we should as well try to be as much prepared as we can. So, it is that in this case we're observing an example of the best outcome possible, because Dwaravaka was so well prepared to counter any type of attack as it is mentioned here, that so far nothing bad had happened. And we're talking about somebody who might as well be an equal, as I said before, to Krishna. Somebody who is literally just, so powerful that he might as well be a different type of main character in this story that isn't even about him. So yeah, very much revelatory, I will say. the idea of being prepared. But anything else, yeah, might as well not be that deep or that thoughtful. I would argue, just in case. Is it? Yeah, I think. So, anyways, let me see. I hear my PC overworking itself. Are we running perfectly? Is there no problem so far? It seems, yeah, it seems, I guess. So, continue. Canto 16. Araña que parva continua. Krishna continues. King of kings, Salva, master of the Saubha, great chariot and city of Tyr, came towards our city with an immense force of infantry, cavalry, and elephants. His army, led by 4 other kings of great power, occupied a level ground commanding a plentiful water supply. Apart from cemeteries, temples dedicated to the gods, sacred groves of trees, and grounds covered by anthills, that host occupied every other place around Dwaraka, divisions of that army barred all the roads into our city, and the secret entrances also were all blocked by the enemy. O Kaurabia, even like Garuda, Salva flew towards Dwaraka, with his host beating all kinds of arms, skilled at all weapons, and dense array of chariots, elephants, and cavalry, flying a sea of banners, well-paid and well-fed warriors of great strength, bearing every mark of heroism, riding those wonderful chariots, armed with magnificent bows. The young princes saw Salva's army and sallied forth from our gates to face it. Charudeshna, Samba, the mighty Pradyumna, all put on mail, mounted their chariots, and decked with ornaments, their colors flying, rode to fight Salva's teeming legions. Fiercely, Samba attacked Shemabriti, Senapati of Salva's forces, and struck his chief counselor too with gusts of arrows. Why, Kambavati's sons showered arrows upon the enemy in a river even as Indra does the rain. Shemaviriti stood unmoved as Himavan in that deadly storm. Using Maya, Shemaviriti discharged an even mightier tide of shafts at Samba. Samba dispelled the sorcery with his own Maya and loosed 1,000 arrows at his adversary's chariot. Now, pierced by Samba's barbs, overwhelmed, Shemavriti fled in his fleet chariot. When Salva's evil general left the field, a mighty Daitya called Begavat rushed at my son. Samba stood his ground calmly, Kaunteya. Samba wielded a flashing mace and cast it at Begavat, who fell on the ground like a mighty, faded patriarch of the forest whose roots have rotted away. Upon the death of that ferocious Ashura, Samba was at the enemy, spilling blood all around. Another renowned Danava, Vivindya, mighty warrior wielding a menacing bow, faced Charudeshna, and, O monarch, the encounter between Charudeshna and Vivindya was as fierce as the one in olden days between Britara and Basava. In fury, roaring like 2 great lions, they struck each other with arrows. Rukmini's son fitted a mighty astra, splendid as fire on the sun, to his bowstring. He chanted mantras over it, and it could raise every enemy. Yet Histira, my son, loosed that weapon at Vivindya, and the Danava fell dead. Seeing Vivindya slain, his entire army wavering, Salva advanced again in his beautiful chariot, which could go anywhere. Back abajo, seeing Salva in his chariot, the fighters of Dwaraka trembled and began to retreat. Then Pradyumna sallied forth, crying to the Anarthas, "Do not fear! Watch me! I will drive back Salva in his chariot. Yadavas, today my astras will be like serpents and consume the entire host of the lords of the Saubha. I will kill Salva today and smash his fine Saubha." Pandava. When Pradyumna spoke to them, fear left the Yadavas and they stayed to fight. I mean, one of the few interpretations that might as well be very easy to get from here is this whole idea related to this is more than anything else kind of a lesson about how to be a good general when it comes to battles, no? And certainly we're not living in times of war or anything of that sort, so it shouldn't be applicable to modern times, supposedly. But what happens with this type of stories and what happens with this particular type of moments, of moments of epics, is that you can get out of them different things if you pay attention not to what is directly being said, but rather what can be extracted and what can be utilized in a more direct way towards what we have in front of us, let's say. Because a very revealing kind of attribute is born from, for example, what Pradyumna said when he, for example, here. Then Pradyumna sallied forth, crying to Tanartas, and all of the text also. Basically, a very interesting thing that can be twisted this is into, even if you're not in war, if you can say things convincingly enough, you can motivate other people to follow you into things that they might not have even wished to go towards before, because this is correlated to the capacity, obviously, first and foremost, of you being capable of properly giving kind of ease to others with your existence, something that might not be so easy to achieve, even more if we take into consideration that we, as different, as contrary as these kings, we do not have the blessing of being rich or the blessing of being blessed with religious knowledge or anything like that, as it happens here. But you can probably do not find yourself in that much distress towards those type of situations, because this is speaking more than anything else about the quality simply of supporting others with what you say. In that sense, trying to take from here the lesson of you can find people aligned to your cause as long as you are capable of making it sound something worth of doing. Certainly, it is not directly the best thing to say or the best thing to try and consider, but it is an advancement, at the very least, towards somewhere, in comparison to what was before, in the sense of certainly being so barren. So yeah, this is also what I was saying before, because you can try to apply this same concept here into what was discussed on the previous canto, and it can very much give a little bit out of it, let's say, but it might not be necessary, I believe. The message becomes kind of apparent if you are willing to take this stance, because not every single part of it has anything of the sort also, because you can't really learn anything out of, wow, Chardesna and Bibintia were fighting. Wow, no, there is nothing to really take out from there. Or from Shema Brady being somebody who fled because he got scared, is not that much knowledge everywhere. But at the very least, that can be said about Pradyumna and his proper speech. Let's argue. So yeah, anyways, let us now continue with Canto 17. Aranyaka Parava continued. Krishna continued. Bharatrishabha. Pradyumna climbed into his golden chariot, drawn by the finest steeds covered in mail. Over it flew a standard bearing a makara, a fierce crocodile which shows agape, and dreadful as Yama, his horses more flying than running on the ground, he charged the enemy. Pradyumna bore quiver and sword. His fingers were encased in leather, and switching his bow, brilliant as lightning, from hand to hand, he twanged its strings resoundingly, laughing in the enemy's face, spreading panic through the ranks. He slew all around him contemptuously, and no one could mark any interval between the shafts he loosed. No color rose into his face. His limbs did not so much as quiver. Only his leonine roars rang across the field, while the sea monster's image on his golden flagstaff struck terror in his enemies' hearts. Pradyumna, destroyer of his enemies, flew at Salva, himself eager for an encounter, but Salva could not bear Pradyumna's assault. He leapt down from his beautiful chariot of untold speed. Those watching, the people, saw the duel between Salva and the Vrishni hero, which was even like that between Bali and Basaba of old. Kshatriya, Salva, mighty and lustrous, climbed back into his chariot and beset Pradyumna with a storm of arrows. Pradyumna fought back, briefly overwhelming Salva, who now shot arrows of blazing fire at my son, but Pradyumna easily parried that burning shower. Salva rained more shafts of fire over him. Best of kings, wounded by Salva's arrows, Pradyumna loosed an astra which could pierce the entrails of any enemy. That winged shaft pierced Salva's armor and entered his heart, at which he fell in a swoon. Seeing their lord fall, the Ranama chieftains all fled the field. Lord of the earth, cries of "Oh!" and alas arose from Salva's army, but Salva regained his senses, jumped up, and suddenly loosed a clutch of savage barbs at Pradyumna. Pierced about his throat, Pradyumna staggered in his rata, wounding Rukmini's son. Salva roared like a lion, filling the world with that great sound. Oh, Mahabharata, when my son fell senseless, Salva did not lose a moment, but shot him with more deadly arrows. Pierced by numberless arrows, Pradyumna became motionless on the field of battle. Holy fucking god, he fucking died. This is so sad. This is literally a moment to cry. Man, yeah, this certainly doesn't have that much in particular, but at the very least is entertaining with the amount of imagery that it contains. I can say, yeah, there is nothing to really say from here. I can try to overthink about it and probably say something like, even if you seem to be prepared, you can still fail, something like that, taking into consideration that the son Pradyumna, son of Krishna, should have been capable of defending against this guy, Basma, I think it was. So, yeah, so something like that. But it doesn't really seem to be the message. Maybe also Krishna is incredibly powerful. I wouldn't be surprised if he came back to his city and decided to revive Pradyumna with one of his lost astras or whatever, or mantras or whatever it is. So yeah, continuing. Yeah. In reality, yeah, I don't have that much more to say with that one in particular. I will certainly wouldn't like to exploit what can't really be utilized for the sake of having the type of content that we enjoy here. So, anyways, continuing. Canto 18. Aranyaka Parva continue. Krishna continues. Seeing Pradyumna felled by Salva, the Vrishnis all grew disheartened and stricken. Their fighters broke into loud cries of "Oh" and "Alas," while joy swept through the enemy ranks. Daruka's son, Kisarati, bore him swiftly from the field. The chariot had not gone far when Pradyumna regained his senses, picked up his bow, and said to his charioteer, "Sutaputra, what have you done? Why do you leave the battlefield? This is not the custom of the Vrishni heroes in battle. Were you confounded by the sight of Salva, or frightened by our duel? Tell me truly, I must know your mind." The charioteer answered, "O son of Ganadana, I am not confounded or afraid." Hello, Miko. Welcome. Today, just in case, a quick introduction. We are reading the Mahabharata, a very interesting book. I hope you can enjoy it. What are we? We're in the middle of a fight, I would say. But yeah, that is all I can probably say. Hello. I was here. The charioteer answered, "O son of Gandhara, I am not confounded or afraid. On the other hand, I saw that it was difficult for you to vanquish Salva, and so I left the field. The bridge is stronger than you, and besides Asarati must protect his warriors." Eh, eh, thank you for liking that button. And and must protect his warriors, especially when his Kshatriya faints. Long live! I must always protect you, even as you must always watch over me. Besides, you are not alone. Uh, I want. I guess I let me continue. You're alone, while the Danamas are legion. I felt, oh Ragminiputra, that you are not equal to them in this fight, and began to leave the field. Krishna continued, "When the charioteer said this, he who bears the Makara on his banner retorted, turned the chariot around. O son of Daruka, never do this again, never flee the field, not while I am alive. No son of the house of Brishni ever forsakes battles or kills an enemy fallen at his feet, crying, 'I am yours.' No Krishni ever kills a woman, a boy, an old man, or a warrior in distress, who has lost his chariot or has had his weapons broken. You are born a Sutta and are well trained in your craft. O son of Daruka, you know the custom of the Brishnis in battle. Never again fly from the field as you have done today. What will the irrepressible Krishna say to me when he hears that I left the field in bewilderment, or that I was struck in the back as I fled from battle? What will Krishna's elder, the mighty arm Baladeva, wearing blue and drunk on wine, say when he returns? What, O Sutta, will that lion among men, Sini's grandson Satyaki, that great warrior, say when he hears I abandon the fight? Sarati, what will the ever victorious Samba, the invincible Charudeshna, Durdarasha, Gada, and Sarana, and Akrura of mighty arms say to me? What will the wives of the Vrishni heroes say to one another of me, who have so far been considered brave, of noble conduct, honorable, and manly? They will even say, 'This Pradyumna is a coward who leaves the battle and comes here. Fie on him.' They will never say, 'Well done.' Ridicule, oh Sutta, is worse than death to someone like me, so never again leave the field of battle. Leaving Dwaraka in my chairs, Krishna has gone to the yagna of the Bharata lion. I cannot be a bystander now. Sutta, when the brave Kritavarman was sallying out to face Salva, I stopped him, saying, 'You stay, I will fight Salva, and to honor me, Ridika's son desisted. If I leave the field of battle, What will I say to that mighty warrior when I meet him? When Krishna, wielder of the Sangha, Chakra and Gada, returns, what will I tell him of the eyes like lotus leaves, Satyaki? Baladeva and all the others, Brishnis and Alhakas always boast about me. What will I say to them? Having left the field of battle, and with wounds of arrows on my back, as you bore me away, I will not be able to live, O son of Daruka. Turn the chariot around at once, and never flee again during battle, for I do not consider the life worth living which was gained by fleeing the field like a coward. Sutaputra, have you ever seen me fly in fear from an enemy? It does not become you to leave the battle, while my desire to fight on remains unquenched. Hurry, turn back. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't have the obligation to explain this, right? It is very clear that not being a warrior seems to be bad. Very short analysis, not being a honorable warrior is bad, basically. But certainly the way in which it is said reveals that it carries more more importance than simply what I tried to say before. In the sense of so many things go well because you fulfill the role that was given to you in an honorable way, that you might as well wish for the capacity of having the chance of doing it as much as you can in an honorable way, because it certainly shows that all of the things that he was risking to lose were more precious than even his own life almost. And that is also why that part in which he says fleeing from battle is worse than death makes so much sense. It yeah, I will say yeah, I guess that is kind of the analysis so far. It is explaining like 5 or 4 different ways in this same canton, so no real necessity of explaining it anymore. But living badly, basically. It is better to die while trying than to live never having tried, basically. And a different word, the same idea. So yeah, continuing, sorry. We are over here. Canto 19. Arangaka Parva continue. Continue. Krishna continues. His charioteer replied hastily. His charioteer replied hastily to Pradyumna in sweet tones, "O son of Rukmini, I am not afraid to guide your horses on the field, and I know well the custom of the Vrishnis in war. But, O long-lived, the Sarathi is taught that his warrior's life is always to be safeguarded by his charioteer. You were sorely wounded by Sarva's arrows. You fell unconscious, O Kshatriya. Only then did I leave the field. But, O Lord of the sad waters, now that you have regained consciousness, watch my skill in driving your horses. Daruka is my father, and he has taught me chariotry. Watch me pierce Salva's army, O hero." Hero. Saying this, that Sarathi snapped his reins and turned back to the field of battle, struck by his whip, deftly maneuvered. Those fine steeds seemed to fly through the air. Beautifully they ran, in circles, now to the left, then to the right, in even paths, then uneven. Truly, so light, so deft was the artistry of Daruka's son. His horses blazed along, and it seemed their hoofs did not touch the ground. It seemed they read the Sarathi's very thoughts. So effortlessly and swiftly did that chariot dart through and wheel around Salva's force that they who watched were wonderstruck. Salva could not bear this and shot 3 arrows at Pradyumna's charioteer, but he sped on to the right, taking no notice of the shafts which pierce him. Oh, what? Salva again loosed a shower of every kind of missile at Pradyumna, but that Parantapa, Rukmini's son, smiled and with breathtaking lightness of hand cut them all down in flight. Salva used Maya now and attacked Pradyumna more savagely still. Using the Paramastra, Pradyumna again stopped those fell and powerful weapons, all the while shooting a stream of winged arrows at Salva, and the lightning in blood, sorry. These shafts truncated Salva's missiles and flashed on to pierce his head, breast, and his face. Salva fell senseless, and Pradyumna aimed another arrow at him, one which could kill any enemy. Seeing that great Astra, which all the Dasarhas worship, burning like fire and deadly as a serpent, fitted to Pradyumna's bowstring, the air was filled with cries of "Oh!" and "Alas!" Now the Devas, led by Indra and the Lord of Treasures, Kubera, sent Narada down, and Vayu, the wine god, whose speed is that of the mind, coming to Pradyumna, they gave him this message: Kshatriya, you must not kill Salva. Do not draw your astras, for you cannot kill him. This is no man whom that arrow will not kill. But, Mahabaho, Brahma has ordained his death at the hands of Devaki's son Krishna. Do not let what Brahma has ordained be proved false. Happily, Pradyumna withdrew that vest of astras and thrust it back into his quiver. Then, Vest of Kings, wounded sorely by Pradyumna's arrows, the mighty Salva rose disheartened and sped away. Afflicted by the business, Salva mounted his magical chariot and, leaving Dobraka, flashed away into the sky. Um, I, I guess the only content that can be properly analyzed here is the part of the charioteer, basically. Um, it can be kind of considered as. I was going to say another type of real relationship in which both parties fulfill their roles, but it can also be said in the same way about the brothers, the Pandavas, and all of that. So, um, okay, it is something like when yeah, when a subordinate is capable of showing such appreciation for their master in this sense, because it certainly is true that Pradyumna is superior to the son of Rukmini, it shows that first and foremost, the the one who has more power exerts his power so properly that even the minions, let's say, follow their every order. Kind of obviously that part. But the second and most interesting thing is also that there can be such a good relationship between them that even if problems were to arise in such moments, they can be solved, sorry. And not that they simply can be solved, but rather that a simple exchange of words like it happened here can fix all of these situations, let's say. And yeah, I guess it has a little bit of a specialty about it, because it certainly isn't about anyone else, but rather only about Pradyumna and the son of Rukmini, not about Pradyumna, his wife, or anything like that. That is why, in this sense, it might have a little bit more of importance, or how to say it. They are still following roles in, as almost everyone is in the Mahabharata, because they all believe in the importance of doing so, but the paths that are being followed here can be broken more easily than everything else, let's say. Because a charioteer certainly isn't as important as a wife, and that is why even observing something like this working so properly is a good way to observe that even the tiniest of the relationships can go well as long as we're capable of working on them in this same type of manner. I guess. That is the best thing I can overwork about this. Continuing, anyways. Um, yeah, water. Nice. Uh, this isn't lying, right? Yeah. Amazing. Canto 20. Aranyaka Parva continued. Krishna said, when Selva had left Twavarati, I returned to it, O king. Upon the completion of your great Rahasya Yagna, on my arrival, I found Dwaraka shorn of its splendor, and there were no sounds of Vedic chanting or sacrificial offering. All the lovely young women wore no ornaments, and the gardens were desolated, no longer beautiful. Alarmed, I asked Kritika's son, why are the men and women of the city way begone, O tiger among men? Kritavarman then told me in detail about Salva's invasion of Dwavaraka, and also how he fled Bharatotama. I decided to kill Salva cheerfully. I said to King Akuka and Anakana Dubhi and the other great Vrishni heroes, Yadavari Shabhas, stay in the city, taking every care, for I now go forth to kill Salva, and I will not return to Dwarati until I have. I will not come to you again when I have destroyed both Salva and his precious Saubha. Now strike up the sharp, middle, and flat notes of the Dundubhi, which so terrifies our enemies. O Maharatari Shabha, thou shalt be ascribed joyfully to me. Go and slay the enemy, taking their blessings and having the Brahmanas chant auspicious mantras while I bow down to those Dibihotamas and to Shiva also. I set out in my chariot, yoked to my great steeds Saibya and Sugriva, filling all the world with the clatter of my wheels and blowing on the Panchahanya, best of all sanghas. I set out accompanied by my redoubtable and ever victorious army, consisting of the four kinds of forces and steadfast in battle, passing over many countries, mountains crowned with trees, and water bodies, lakes, rivers, and streams. I arrived at last in the country of Matrikavata. There, Purusharishabha, no, Purushaviagra, I heard that Salva flew in his aerial chariot, which was also a stone ship, his city, near the sea, and I pursued him there. Parantapa, I found him right in the midst of the billowing, heaving waves, seeing me from a distance, Yudhishthira. What? What did I miss? Why is, what? Why is Yudhishthira mentioned out of nowhere? What the fuck? What? He was Krishna was talking about himself all this time in this canto. Uh, I guess I didn't notice. I will guess because I was sure it was narrating somebody else's story. I don't know. I guess. Anyways, Yudhishthira, that evil one challenged me repeatedly to fight. I loosed many arrows at him, great missiles, but they did not penetrate his subha. I grew angry anti-evil, powerful son of Aditya, began to shoot thousands of arrows at me in a torrent. He covered my warriors, my Sarathi, and my horses with arrows, but we fought on, and Salva's legions used more arrows, again in thousands, over me. They mantled my Ratha, my horses, and Daruka with astras which could pierce one's very entrails. Then I could no longer see my chariots, horses, or even Daruka. My army and I were both shrouded in arrows. Kaunteya, I chanted mantras to summon astras and loosed tens of thousands of them at the enemy, but the Sauha was far away, to Yohanas, and my warriors could not see it. They could only stand below on the battlefield and, like spectators in an arena, cheer me with lion roars and loud hand clapping. But my tainted arrows, meanwhile, pierced the Nava bodies like fierce insects, and there arose cries from within the Sauga of those who died by them and fell into the sea below, arms and necks cut off. The Navas, looking like dismembered cabanjas, fell, roaring horribly. Carnivores of the deep devoured them hungrily. I blew an echoing blast on the Panchahanya, which once rose from those waters, and which is as graceful as a lotus stalk, and white as milk, the kunda flower, the moon, or a silver. Seeing his soldiers die, Salva began to fight using Maya, illusion. He cast a tirade, yes. He cast a tirade of masses, plowshares, winged darts and lances, javelins, battle axes, daggers, arrows blazing like thunderbolts, nooses, swords, bullets from barrels, other strange shafts and missiles. I allowed them to fly towards me, then dispelled the sorcery of which they were made. Salva now cast mountain peaks of Maya at me. Then he created uncanny weather changes, darkness and light, alternately. The day was now fair, and now gloomy, now hot and now cold. He caused a fierce shower of live coals, hot ash and arrows to pour down over me. With these illusions he dueled with me, and I dispelled all his Maya with my own power, and also continued to lose thousands of shafts at the Sabha. Suddenly, the dome of heaven blasts as with 100 suns and with 100 moons, too, 1,000,000 of stars, and no one could tell if this was day or night. No one could distinguish the point of the horizon. Perplexed myself, I fit the Pragnastra to my bowstring. That weapon blew away Salva's sorcery in the sky, even as the wind those wisps of cotton wool. Now we had light again, and we fought fiercely once more, so those who watched had their higher stance on earth. This is the part of the epic, basically. Canto 21, Arangeka Parva continued. Krishna says, Tiger among men. Salva flew high into the sky again and cast down blazing satagnis and mighty maces and flaming lances and dead cudgels. I shot them all down as they flew at me, and the sky echoed. Salva covered Daruka, my horses and Rata, with hundreds of straight, deadly shafts. Daruka seemed about to faint and said to me, Ah, Krishna, I am sorely wounded. I have not left the field only because it is my dharma to stay, but my limbs turn weak and I cannot continue. Hearing his piteous voice, I looked at him and saw he was wounded by countless arrows. There was no place on his chest, his head, his arms, or the rest of his body from which fell arrows did not protrude. Blood flowed profusely from his wounds, and he looked like a mountain of red chalk after a heavy rain. Mahabharata, seeing Daruka wounded, I tried to embolden him and make him cheerful. Just then, a man from Dwaparaka came running to my chariot with a message from Ahuka. He seemed to be one of Ahuka's followers, and said in a voice choking with sorrow, Ahuka, The Lord of Dwaraka sends you this message, Krishna. Listen to what your father friend says. Oh, Brishni, irrepressible one. While you were away today, Salva came to Dwaraka, seized your father Vasudeva by main force, and killed him. No need for you to fight anymore. Seize Hanardana, you must return to Dwaraka now. To defend her is your only dharma. My heart grew heavy, and I could not decide what to do. Inwardly, I blamed Satyaki, Baladeva, and the mighty Pradyumna. For when I left to attack Salva, I had given them charge of protecting Dwaraka and Vasudeva. In grief, I asked myself, does the mighty arm Baladeva live, and Satyaki and Rukmini's son, and Charudeshna of great prowess, and Samba, and the others? For if they did, even Indra himself could not kill Vasudeva. Ah, if Vasudeva is dead, surely all these others and Balarama too must also be dead. Yudhishthira, I was overwhelmed by grief, and in that condition I encountered Salva again, and now I saw Vasudeva himself falling from the Sabka. Oh, my father seemed like Yayati falling down to the earth when he lost his punya. I saw my father fall like a luminary whose punya was exhausted, his clothes in disarray, his helmet loose, and his hair flowing free and wild, and I zoomed away. The bow saranga dropped from my hand, and I had to sit down abruptly in my chariot. My listeners saw me thus, and their cries rent the air. Ah, my father fell like a dead bear, and Salva's soldiers on the ground hewed savagely at him with sword and axe. At this, my heart shook violently, and I regained consciousness. Oh, Kshatriya, nowhere did I see my father or Salva or his Saupa made of precious metals. I knew that it had all suspended Maya, the enemy illusion, and recovering quickly, I began to lose my arrows again, in hundreds. Was this unnecessary then? Did I... What? Was all of this haha prank? What? I guess, I don't know. He was trolled. I don't know. I think this. Also. I mean, I don't understand why he didn't die while he was being attacked. Anyways, anyways, Canto 22. Rayaka Vtuber. Krishna continues. Seizing up my beautiful bow, I began to decapitate the Danavas who rode in the Sabha. My saranga stringed arrows formed like serpents, of intense energy and which could fly up to great heights. Then I did not see the Sabha anymore, for it had vanished through Maya. It was filled with wonder. However, the frightful Danava host set up a loud and joyful howling. I fitted an astra to my bowstring, a missile which would bury itself in an invisible enemy if only his voice was audible. Immediately, their shouting stopped. However, those who had hold were already slain by my arrows blazing like the sun. When the shouts and yells stopped in one place, they broke out in another, and there too I lost my arrows. Mahabharata, the Asuras roared from the 10 directions, as well as from above and below, and all those who did roar I slew. Those that were in the sky and invisible, all with arrows of diverse forms, and astras summoned with mantras. Suddenly the Sabha reappeared, of all places, at Pragyotishapura. Okay. Of all places, at Pragyotishapura, dazzling with my eyes. The monstrous Danavas showered a lashing rain of great rocks over me, covering me entirely, even like some vast anthill. Mighty crags covered my horses, my charioteer and flagstaffs, and I could not be seen anymore. The Vrishni army panicked and fled in every direction. Seeing me covered over with the massive stones, heaven and earth resounded with shocked cries. All my kinsmen and comrades began to weep and wail aloud, while the grief tore at their hearts. My enemies were the light, so I had after I had defeated the enemy. Then I wielded the Bahara, Indra's thunderbolts, which can rive the hardest stone and smash the mountain of rocks. However, my horses could hardly bear the weight of the rocks and seemed on the point of death. They trembled. When my warriors saw me again, they rejoiced as men do when the sun breaks out from behind dark clouds, dispelling darkness. See my horses almost at last gasp, sorely wounded by the mass of stones, my Sarati Daruka said to me, "O Vrishni, look where Salva sits in his Sabha. Kill him, Krishna, abandon your mercy and mildness. Mahabaho, do not let him live. Parantapa, you must do everything in your power to kill your inveterate enemies. A strong man should not disregard even a weak enemy who is under his foot. Then what to say of someone like Salva, who dares us to fight? Tiger among men, Lord, exert yourself and kill him. Do not delay any longer. This one cannot be vanquished with milder methods, and surely he that is fighting you so savagely, he who has devastated Tobaraka, cannot be your friend. Kaunteya, listening to Taruka and knowing that what he said was true, I turned my attention back to the battle, now meaning to kill Salva and destroy his Sabha. I said to Taruka, "Stay here a moment," and I summoned my favorite weapon of fire, chakra of blazing energy, irresistible and splendid disc. I cried to the great wheel, "Consume the Sabha and all the enemies inside it." In anger, chanting mantras of power, I loosed the inexorable Sadursana chakra, which makes ashes of yakshas, rakshasas, danavas, and kings born into fell tribes. The disc sharp as a razor, stainless, which is even like Yama the destroyer, and incomparable. Spooning up into the sky, it seemed like another son of the blinding fulgurance with which the yuga ends, flashing at the airborne township, the marvelous Sabha, whose glory vanished in a moment. The chakra sighted right through it, even as a sword divides a tree. Cut into by the Sudarsana, the Sabha fell like the city of Tripura cloven by the shafts of Maheswara. When the Sabha fell, the chakra flew back into my hands. I cast it again, crying, "Go now to Salva!" Salva was about to hurl a sorcerer's mace at me when the Sudarsana struck him, cut him in half, and set him ablaze. When that fierce and valiant Danava died, the Shuddha women lamented everywhere and were led away, sobbing. I brought my chariot before the dawn like Vimana Sabha and joyfully blew my conch, gladdening the hearts of my friends, seeing their city, lofty as the peak of Meru, with its palaces and gateways ruined and all ablaze. The Danavas fled in fear. Having thus destroyed the Sabha and slain Salva, I returned to the Anartas, and my king and friends were delighted. Rahan, this is why I could not come to Hastinapura. If I had come, Suryodhana would not be alive, nor would the game of dice have been played. What can I do now? It is hardly to confine the waters after Adam is breached. It is hard, I said. My Sampayana continued. Having addressed the Kaurava thus, Krishna, Purushottama, Mahabaho, Madhusudana, owner of all grace, salutes the Pandavas and prepares to depart. What? Reverently he salutes Dharmaraja Yudhishthira, and in return the king and Bhima also sniff the crown of his head affectionately. Arjuna embraces Krishna, and the twins salute him with reverence. Damya duly honors Krishna, and Draupadi, in tears, worships him. Making Subhadra and Abhimanyu climb into his golden chariot, Krishna mounts it himself. After consoling Yudhishthira, Krishna sets out for Dwaparaka in his Ratha, resplendent as the sun, chariot to which the horses Sabya and Sugriva are yoked. After the Dasarka has left, Drishtadyumna also sets out for his own city, taking Draupadi's sons with him, bidding farewell to the Pandavas. Drishtaketu, king of Chedi, sets out for his beautiful city, Suptimati, taking his sister with him. The Kaikeyas, too, with leave from Yudhishthira of immeasurable Tejas, reverentially salutes all the Pandavas and depart. But the Brahmanas, the Vaisyas, and the other people of Yudhishthira's kingdom will not leave the Pandavas, though asked repeatedly to do so. Best of kings, extraordinary is the multitude that surrounds those Mahatmans in the Kamyakavana. Yudhishthira honors those like-minded Brahmanas, then commands his men, prepare my chariots. What? 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 War? War to war? No. Now, of all times, I guess. I don't know. I understand why they are getting their chariots ready, but anyways. Is there anything wrong with it? I mean, I guess the only part that has a little bit of content is this. This. Yeah? All of this. Basically. This Parantapa. You must do everything in your power to kill your inveterate enemies. A strong man should not disregard even a weak enemy who is under his foot. Then what to say of someone like Salva, who dares us to fight? Tiger among men. Lord, exert yourself and kill him. Do not delay any longer. This one cannot be punished with milder methods, and surely he that is fighting you so savagely, he who has devastated Uzawaraka, cannot be your friend. That is the only part that can be kind of analyzed, I guess. And it has the whole idea of something that I remember being mentioned differently before, something like you shouldn't kill weak enemies or something like that. I guess to not contradict itself, it is something like you should not kill weak enemies, but if they are so incredibly I don't know a word for this, annoying, if they are so annoying, you might as well have the permission to do so, because you can warn them enough times to not be annoying anymore, and they can keep trying for more than enough times to see how much they can annoy you. So at those moments it is that you might take action against them and punish those who behave unnecessarily bad towards you. Because certainly even more, somebody like Krishna has been shown to be incredibly cheerful and a nice guy overall. Somebody who certainly is a pleasure to have as I would say, as a friend, I guess. Certainly as a king at the very least. So yeah, I believe that is kind of the take over here. I guess I don't really know, but yeah, to know what enough is enough. Let's say that is the lesson of this particular canto. I guess. I am literally trying to this here. Anyways, let me drink water before that. And so, wait, how much I haven't already? Okay. No, it is lying. Why it is lying, bro? What? Why did it lag? Why did it lag? I saw you. It lagged out of nowhere. I don't know. Anyways. Canto 23. Arranca que parlo. Hello, Pancho. Welcome. I hope you're doing good, my friend. Welcome. Let me place this over here. Canto 23. Arranca Parva continua. By Sampayana continua. After Krishna leaves, Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna and the twins, each of them as magnificent as Shiva, with Draupadi and her priest, climb into fine chariots yoked to pedigreed horses and drive into the jungle together. As they go, they distribute mishkas of gold, clothes and cows to Brahmanas, bears in Siksha, Akshara and mantras, and 20 attendants follow them, all carrying bows, more gleaming weapons, astras, and other engines of war, with the princess clothes and ornaments, her maids, and her sakhis. Indrasena follows speedily in another chariot. Approaching the best of Kurus, the noble-minded citizens walk around him. The principal Brahmanas of Kurujangala cheerfully salute him, and Dharmaraja Yudhishthira and his brothers salute them back in joy. The illustrious king stops there a while, looking at the concourse of the inhabitants of Kurujangala. Yudhishthira feels for them as a father for his sons, and they also feel for him what sons feel for their father. Coming up to the great Kuru, they stand around him. Taking with shyness, tears in their eyes, they all exclaim, "Alas, O Lord, O Dharma!" And they say, "You are the Lord of the Kurus, or King, and we are your subjects. Where are you going, O King of Dharma, leaving all these your people, like a father leaving his sons? Fie on the cruel son of Dharatarashtra! Fie on the evil-minded son of Subala! Fie on Karna! For, O best of kings, who are steadfast in Dharma, these wretches always wish you ill. Having established the unrivaled city of Indraprastha, splendid as Kailasa itself, where do you go leaving it, O illustrious and just king, O Dharmaputra? Where do you go? Leaving the peerless Mayasabha, as resplendent as the palace of the Devas, which is even like some divine illusion, always guarded by the gods? Arjuna, who knows the ways of Dharma, Artha and Kama, says to them in a loud voice, "By living in the forest, the king means to take away the honor of his enemies. O you with these Brahmanas at your head, who know Dharma and Artha, ask them privately what they believe will fetch us supreme felicity." When the Brahmanas and the other Varnas hear what Arjuna says, they salute Yudhishthira, that best of men, walking reverently around the king. Bhima, Arjuna, Yagaseni and the twins, and commanded by Yudhishthira, they return to their homes in the kingdom with heavy hearts. I didn't get that. I don't know, I'm having troubles today. I guess, I don't know. It isn't that hard of a, I don't know. I have a real excuse this time around, but yeah, so far, yeah. This is once another proof of how important it is to have a good relationship with your denizens, in this case, with those who are, to a certain extent, subordinates to you, probably. How to not make it sound so bad? Those who decide to follow you, let's say like that. Those who decide to follow you, because at the end of the day, it can be so much of a deep relationship that you can have with them, that they can even feel like, as it happens here, like sons to you, and they can perceive you as a father, because it becomes apparent that both parties care so much for the other one, that certainly this type of relationship can be born kind of naturally, I would say. Yet the only kind of hard thing to say, I guess, is if nowadays this advice is applicable. Or, I mean, I guess, yeah, we're dealing with the Pandavas and all of that, so they might as well be considered special in the sense of they don't have to preoccupy or to worry themselves with the idea of maybe they are not capable of really entertaining people like this, and maybe they are they are more than capable of dealing with any possible problem. It doesn't really mean that anybody can out of nowhere have a whole community in this case, like this one, and not find that things can go bad very fast, let's say. Um, I mean, yeah, probably if it is something like that, the lesson, it needs either a deeper look, I will say, because yeah, the Pandavas are so capable of being overall, what is it, all-round masters at everything that they might as well not even be considered humans in that sense, as I said before. They are more like deities, and it is something that has been very well repeated, that they are deities come as avatars of humans in this case, and very powerful one at that. So certainly, no ordinary man might be capable of achieving something like this, but I don't know. Maybe it is also something like you, you can become as good as them if you were to try. I don't know. Not to, yeah, how to say it, not to say that. You can find success in being or imitating their ways because it was written in a sense in which they are portrayed as the best type of examples for a lot of things. Certainly wouldn't take into consideration Yudhishthira, his addiction to gambling and anything like that, an unnecessary amount of pride towards respecting tradition and all of that, where you know that you're going to, for example, in this case, kill Ghost Kill, but that was pretty much a possibility, and that might as well not be even wanted. Certainly, nobody will want to get killed just because, oh wow, I have this arrangement that I need to obey to, and I can't let my name be tainted by not assisting to this place or not playing this game of dice as it happened here. So yeah, I guess crazy. Basically, I don't know. It has been too long. Let me see. Let me see what else I can do for now. I think I need to. Okay, I'm back. Oh man, it's certainly needed a little bit of that. I hope I don't sneeze afterwards. The only annoying thing. But anyways, yeah, I will drink some water. Yeah. Canto 24. What? The exact one? I don't know. Canto 24. Anayaka Parva continued. Vesampayana said, after they have gone, Yudhishthira says to his brothers, must live in the forest for 12 years, so search this mighty Vana for some spot which abounds in birds, deer, flowers and fruit, a place that is beautiful, auspicious, and also where sages dwell, so we might live there pleasantly all those years. Arjuna says to his eldest brother, as reverently as to a guru, you have worshipfully served all the great and old rishis, and there is nothing in the world of men that you do not know, Bharata Rishabha. With the utmost respect, you have waited upon the great Brahmanas, Dvaipayana and others, and Narada of great Punya, who, with their senses perfectly controlled, journey freely from the gates of this world to those of the realms of the Devas, the Gandharvas and the Apsaras, and even to Brahmaloka. Beyond doubt, you know the mind of the Maharishis, as well as their power. You also know, O King, what is best for us. We will live wherever you say, here in this forest called Dvaipa, Dwaitavana is a lake full of holy water, enchanting to look at, with its profusion of flowers of every kind of beard. Rahan, if this place pleases you, shall we remain there for 12 years, or are you of a different mind? Yudhishthira replies, Partha, what you say recommends itself to me. Let us go there. Fame, great and yeah, I it's bad. Let us go to the famed, great and sacred Dvaitavana. Pandu's son goes towards the sacred lake known as Dvaitavana. Yudhishthira is surrounded by many Brahman. Oh my god, Brahmanas, some of whom sacrifice with fire and some without it. Some are devoted to the study of the Vedas, living on alms and their manaprasthas. Forest dwellers, the king is also surrounded by hundreds of Mahatmas, of stern bows, Tartapasya crowned with success. Those Bharadarishabhas, the Pandavas, and their Brahmanas enter the sacred and enchanting Vana of Dvaita. At summer's end, Yudhishthira sees the great jungle full of salas, palms, mango trees, madhukas, nipas, kadambas, sarjas, argunas, and carnicaras, many of them covered with flowers. Flocks of peacocks, datyujas, chakoras, barhins, and kokilas sit on the tops of the tallest trees, pouring down mellifluous songs. Mighty herds of gigantic elephants, big as hills, he sees, with the chewies of rods trickling down their temples, accompanied by herds of cow elephants. Approaching the beautiful Saraswati, the king sees many sannyasins and other ascetics within that banner, all wearing malkala, with matted shata upon their heads. Alighting from his chariot, Yudhishthira entered the forest, even like Indra entering Devaloka. Hosts of Charanas and Siddhas, wanting to see that king of Dharma, come towards him. Quickly, the dwellers of the Dvaita throng around that lion among kings, of the great intellect, saluting all the Siddhas, and saluted by them in return, as a king or a god should be. That best of men walked into the forest with folded hands, along with those Divihotamas. Yudhishthira sits down in the midst of those good ascetics at the foot of a magnificent tree, adorned with flowers, even as his father Pandu had once. Out of them tired, Bhima, Dhananjaya, the twins, Panchali and their followers leap their chariots and sit around their king. And that mighty tree, bent with the weight of thick creepers, with those 5 illustrious bowmen sitting beneath it, looks like a mountain with 5 noble elephants resting upon its side. I guess, yeah, this will be, I hope, another canto of knowledge. Let me quickly skip this. I guess, I don't know. I will guess, but let me see how much I have on the registry. Why is this line out of nowhere? What is going on, bro? I don't know. Anyways, yeah. What we're going to do, because I feel like it is, we're going to take a quick break, something like 5 minutes, because I have still more to go, so I don't want to exhaust all of my energy so fast, basically. So yeah, quick break, kind of quick break, quote unquote quick, because it is going to be 5 minutes. Just that. Oh my god, there it is. A marker. Aha, there it is. Marker. Let me make it like that. Okay, there it is. I made the marker. Now, yeah, for real, we're going to take a break. 5 minutes, only 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, we're going to be back. I guess. So, start. Haha. See you in 5 minutes. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I will now go and eat another It's sorry. It took me more than what I had really expected. I guess I was eating slowly. I don't know, something like that. No. Anyways, sometimes we miss stuff that we would have liked to see. Yeah, that is all I can say. Fuck it, we won. Ah, man, no. This is so sad. Why do we have obligations? Why do we have things to do? Aside from living on constant entertainment. This is the pain of being like, I don't know. Anyways, hello. Welcome. Oh my god, I forgot about the sound. Hello. I need to make the marker, I guess. I don't even know why do I make the marker sometimes, but look at this marker. Apple, no, takeover. That is the marker. We're literally eating no more. So yeah, welcome back. Anyway, let me see. So we were over here on the Canto 25. That is where I decided to take a break. Yeah, we are going to kind of the same. No, not the same duration. An hour. How much is it? I think a little bit less than an hour. I don't know. No, an hour and how much? Like, and 40 more minutes, something like that. I guess. I don't know. Anyways, continuing. No, yeah, continue. I will drink water afterwards. Canto 25. Aranyaka Parva continued. By Sampayana said, in their distress, the exiled princes find a pleasant place to live in Tevana, and there, in that jungle of plentiful sala trees, forest washed by the Saraswati, they who are like 5 Indras begin to besport themselves. The king devotes himself to befriending, serving, and pleasing all the yatis, munis, and the main brahmanas in that forest, with offerings of fine fruit and roots. Domya, their priest of tremendous tejas, and like a father to the princess, begins to perform the sacrificial rites of Ishti and Paitreya for the Pandavas in that great forest. One day, the ancient Rishi Markandeya of intense and abundant tejas arrives as a guest in the Pandavas asarama. Yudhishthira pays devout homage to the great Muni, revered by the Devas, by rishis and by men, and who is as splendid as blazing fire. King Draupadi, Yudhishthira, Bhima, and Arjuna, living amongst ascetics of Tevana, the lustrous and all-knowing sage smiles. Yudhishthira asks, Muni, all these hermits feel sad to see us here in the wilderness, but you smile as if in joy. Why is it that you alone sing bliss? Markandeya replies, My child, I too feel sad, and do not smile in any joy, nor do I feel any satisfaction to see you here. But seeing you today, I am reminded of Dasarata's son Rama, who lived in the forest at his father's command, son of Pritha. I saw him in those olden days, ranging through the jungle, his bow in his hand and Lakshmana beside him. I saw him on the hill of Rishyamukha. Rama was like Indra, the lord of Yama himself and the slayer of Namuchi. Yet that sinless one had to live in the forest at his father's command, and he accepted that as his dharma. Yes, Rama was Sakara's equal in prowess. He was invincible in battle, yet abandoning all luxury and pleasure, he went to live in Devana, so no one should sin or live dharma, thinking, I am mighty, taking Nabhaga, Bhagirath, and others to subdue the earth bounded by seas, only through dharma, and finally gain the realms beyond. Child, no one should live Dharma thinking, I am mighty, noblest of men. The virtuous and honest king of Kasi and Karusha was called a mad dog for relinquishing his kingdom and his wealth. No one should sing, saying, I am mighty, best of men, O son of Parita. The Saptarishis blaze in the sky for having followed the eternal Dharma which the Creator has laid down in the Vedas. Ah, no one should leave Dharma thinking, I am mighty. Behold, O King, mighty elephant, tusk and great as mountain cliffs, do not transgress the laws of the Creator. So, too, no man should break Dharma thinking, might is mine. Best of kings, look how every creature and species follows its own nature and law as created by God. Surely, no one should break Dharma saying, might is mine. Paritaputra, in truth, in virtue, in righteous conduct, and in humility, you have surpassed all creatures, and your fame and brilliance are as those of Agni or Surya. You are steadfast in keeping your word, and when you have passed your painful exile in the forest, you will take back your lambent fortune from the Kauravas to your own mind. Saying this much to Yudhishthira, who sits among his friends, and the ascetics of the forest, the Maharishi Markandeya salutes Domya and the Pandavas and walks away towards the north. Yeah, we can finally start to see some more quote-unquote deep knowledge, I would guess. Um, yeah, more oriented towards being that, compared to before that we had to scrape the bottom of the barrel to try or like see if we could really find anything valuable over there. So yeah, give me a moment because I certainly need a second to blow my mouth. Okay, basically, it's really a bit hard. I would believe, but at the same time, I also find that it might have some hard things inside of it, in the sense of um, okay, yeah, I think this is the important part, or this is more properly to say. They are what comes after the stop. Let's say, the first one is so no one should sing or live dharma, thinking I am mighty. The second one is no one should live dharma, thinking I am mighty. What? What? Anyways, kind of repeated, I guess. But no one should sing, saying I am mighty. What? Wasn't this? This is repeated two times. What is the point? Continuing. Oh my god! No one should live Dharma, thinking I am mighty. Once again, the third one is surely no one. The fourth one, surely no one should break Dharma, saying might is mine. That is all different things that are said about Dharma and Adharma and whatever else. I certainly do not go against nature, I guess. Yeah, kind of hard to properly interpret all of this in a sense of what is being Dharma considered as here, because obligations and the different roles that we should fulfill as individuals, what is this particular Dharma referring to? Um, Okay. I think it is something like obligations because probably, no, not probably. The example was about this guy named Rama, and he, even if he was so capable of not following these words that these orders, sorry, that he was given, he did so anyways because he know it is more important to follow Dharma than to not to follow Dharma, to follow instructions and to be capable of showing that you are someone committed to doing what is shown to you as something important by your elders than to trying to contradict them in a desire to disprove what they have to say and whatever else. The kind of problem might be that certainly deals too much maybe with introducing the idea of you shouldn't contradict others. And to a certain extent, it is right, but I will say like this. Real Dharma might lie behind properly telling others that they can't or they shouldn't in any way whatsoever be so conceited with what they believe and believe that all the things that they say are Dharma. But yeah, if we are talking about average people, probably. So maybe, yeah, it stands in a weird position, I will say, to not leave Dharma as on one hand while also correcting Dharma itself, I guess. Yeah, it happened. Wow. Wow. Amazing. I had to sneeze, sorry. No. Uh, I am getting sick. I don't know. Second time that I sneeze. I might not have potato socks put on my potato feet, so potato is going to use his potato hands to put potato socks on his potato feet to eat potato warm. I don't know. That is the only thing that I can try to use. Of course, I need to sneeze. So that's what I'm going to fix right now. Yes. Fuck. Anyways, here we are. Continue with this. This is so sad. Anyways, we have to continue. The show must go on. As they will say in Hollywood or something like that. I don't know. We are over here. Yeah. Come to 26. Arañaca Parva continued. My Sampayana said, while the Pandavas leave the forest, the Dvaitavana teems with Brahmanas. The lake always resounds with Vedic chanting and is like a second holy Brahmaloka. As the very air thrills to the sounds of the Yahus, the Rigs, the Samas, and other incantations, these chants mingle with the twanging of the bowstrings of the sons of Pandu, creating a union of Brahmana and Kshatriya customs, noble and beautiful. One evening, the Rishi Baka of the Dharmiya clan says to Yudhishthira, who sits among the Brahmanas, Look, Lord of the Gurus, it is the time of the Homa and the sacred fires have been lit. All these Brahmanas of stern vows sanctify this place with the rituals. The descendants of Brigu and Angiras, along with those of Vasishta and Kasyapa, the illustrious sons of Agastya, the offspring of Atri, indeed, all the foremost Brahmanas of the world are here with you. Listen, O Kaunteya, you are your brothers to what I have to say to you. As fire held by the wind consumes a forest, so will Brahmana Tehas combining with Kshatriya might consume all enemies. My child, He who wants to subdue this world and the next must never be without Brahmanas beside him. A king vanquishes his enemies only when he has for his priest a Brahmana who knows Dharma, worldly affairs, and is free from passion and folly. King Bali, who loved his subjects, performed his Dharma, which led to moksha, knowing of no other means to achieve his ends other than the Brahmanas. For this alone, all the wishes of Virutana's son, the Ashura, were always gratified, and his wealth was inexhaustible. He gained the whole world with the help of Brahmanas, and found destruction when he wronged them. This earth, with her treasures, never for long adores as her lord a Kshatriya who lives without a Brahmana. The same sea-girt Bhumi, however, bows to him who is ruled by a Brahmana and taught his Dharma by a Brahmana. Like an elephant in battle without his mahout, a Kshatriya destitute of Brahmanas dwindles in power. The Brahmana's vision is without compare, and the Kshatriya's might is also unparalleled. When these combine, the whole world joyfully yields to the twain. As fire becomes stronger, blown by the wind, and consumes straw and wood, so do kings with Brahmanas consumes all foes. To gain what he has not, and to increase what he has, a Kshatriya should take the counsel of Brahmanas. Therefore, O son of Kunti, ye also keep a Brahmana of repute with you, one who knows the Vedas, a man of wisdom and experience. Yudhishthira, you have always had the highest regard for Brahmanas. It is because of this that your fame is great and blazes through the three worlds. All the Brahmanas there are delighted to hear Baka of the Dalgya clan praise Yudhishthira, and they, in turn, worship Baka. Dvaipayana, Narara, Amadagnya, and Pritusravas, Indradyumna and Baluki, and Kirkachetas and Sahasrapat, and Karnasravas, and Munha, and Lavanaswa, and Kasyapa, and Harita, and Stunakarna, and Agnivesya, and Saunaka, and Kritabak, and Subaka, Brihadaswa, and Bhavasu, and Udvaretas, and Brishamitra, and Suhotra, and Utravahana. These and many other Brahmanas too then adore Yudhishthira, even like rishis adoring Purandara in heaven. I mean, while I was reading, I think the third or fourth point of this, I think I got a way to also interpret what a Brahmana might refer to, because the certain problem that exists with try to observe the Brahmanas as something of this society, or not this, the ones in which we live ourselves, is that we really don't have people embodying such roles normally, let's say. So to try and find similars is very hard, but the best thing might be to try and go to the idea of counselors and go to the idea of masters of different types of knowledge in this world of ours. Maybe if we were more aligned with what the whole Hinduistic beliefs talk about, we would have more Brahmanas in the sense of people who is only, in this case I would say, oriented towards religious knowledge, kind of, or not simply religious, sacred knowledge, let's say, to not make it so vulgar. So maybe there could be ways to make it once again feel great, like it always is. I don't want to simply say but yet it also happens that Brahmanas can be observed as very influential guys, not simply counselors or they occupy kind of the position of chieftains, let's say, more than simply counselors. People who you might want to have because you know that their counseling, because of their position, is incredibly important. And they as always, obviously, there are better counselors than, yeah, there are some who are better than others. Sadly, that is the reality, but uh, what also happens is all of these things amazingly connect back to this whole idea of, let's say, the Pandavas having the possibility of enjoying such a great war, first and foremost. And the second one, also in a more personally applicable way, that the different Brahmanas whom we might find in this world deserve not only due respect but also can give us a lot more than what we could ever expect if we were to realize how much of a valuable thing it is to have people who is willing to teach you something, like it happens with the Brahmanas here, and who is willing to discuss with you different knowledges and to give you a tool towards growing, let's say as an individual. But yeah, the only problem is kind of that Brahmanas is a very close description in the Mahabharata. You can simply try to attribute people at random the title of Brahmana or whatever in real life. So it is hard to give it a proper context to make it more applicable to oneself, I would say. I will try to word it as probably what could be considered this type of context. A Brahmana is somebody who does not allow any way of tenderness to affect their message, and therefore they give you something so valuable that it really shows by itself that what you can learn from them is truly important. Something like that, yes. So yeah, continue basically. Why are we lying at random sometimes? What is going on? Anyways, let me continue. Canto 2. Hey, what? Canto 27. Araña Caparva continued. Vaisambayana said, exiled to the forest, one evening as they sit together in some sorrow, the sons of Peta and Draupadi speak to one another. Beautiful, knowing, beloved of her lords and devoted to them, Panchali says to Yudhishthira, ah, when the Dharatirashtra's cruel, sinful son could send us into Devana wearing deer skin, surely the evil one feels no twinge of remorse. His heart is made of iron, that he will speak to you, his elder brother, as harshly as he did. No, cousin you, who deserve every happiness, such distress, the evil one rejoices with his friends. Oh, Bharata, when you were sent into exile, only 4 men did not shed a tear, Duryodhana, Kama, the Valsakuni, and the beast Dusasana. All the other Kurus grieved and they wept, seeing this harsh bed on which you slept. You sleep. I think of what you had before and I grieve for you. Oh, king, who were raised in every luxury and do not deserve this the least hardship. I think of the shovel ivory throne in your court, and now I see you on this seat of Kusa grass, and grief devours me. Rahal, I saw you surrounded by kings in your sabha. What peace can my heart know seeing you like this today? I have seen your body anointed with sandalwood paste, and now I see you smeared with dust and mud. I saw you clad in royal silken robes, and now I see you wearing rags. Once the purest, finest food was carried from your palace in golden plates to thousands of Brahmanas, and you fed delicacies to ascetics, both homeless and grihastas. You lived in your palace once and worshipped the Brahmanas of the earth, satisfying their every wish. Yet Histira, what peace can my heart now have, seeing all these brothers of yours, young and wearing the costliest ornaments, were once clad in the most expensive clothes and fed by the greatest cooks. Alas, I see them all now. none deserving sorrow, living in the wild, upon what the wilderness yields. O king, my heart knows no peace. Think of this, Vimasena, living in sorrow in Tevana. Does your anger not blaze up? Why are you not wrathful, King Bhima, who always did everything for us all? No plans in grief, though it is every happiness that he deserves. Why does your fury not blaze, King Bhima, whilst lived amidst every luxury, with countless chariots and wearing the most superior clothes, like this to thee in this jungle? This noble one is ready to kill all the Kurus, but he contents his rage and his grief to give your solemn word. Arjuna, O Urrahan, has but 2 hands, but he is equal to Kartaviri Yarjuna of 1,000 arms in his prodigious archery. To his enemies, he is even like Yama himself. What was it not true? His prowess that all the kings of the earth waited upon the Brahmanas at your Rajasuya Yagna? How is it that Sing Arjuna, tiger among men, whom both men and the gods worship, in this wretchedness your anger does not blaze up? I grieve, O Mahabharata, that you are not wrathful at seeing this son of Prita in exile. Arjuna, who deserves no such misery, who had been raised in the lap of every luxury. Why are you not furious, seeing Arjuna in exile? Arjuna, who in a single chariot vanquished the Devas, the Manavas and the Nagas, all. Why are you not furious, seeing Arjuna in exile? Arjuna, who was honored with offerings of chariots, horses, and elephants, who forcibly took from the kings of the earth their treasures, who is the conqueror of our foes, who in one moment can lose 500 arrows. Why are you not furious in Nakula in exiles? Nakula so fair, able-bodied and young, who is foremost among swordmen, who can you pardon your enemy? O Yudhishthira, Singmadri's son, the handsome and brave Sahadeva, in exile. Why are you not furious for seeing both Nakula and Sahadeva overwhelmed by grief, those so undeserving of it? How can you pardon your enemy while seeing me in exile? I, who am Drupada's daughter, Drishtadyumna's sister, illustrious Pandu's daughter-in-law, and the devoted wife of the Pandavas. Truly, O Mahabharata, you are incapable of anger, for how else it is that you are not moved, seeing your brother's distress and mine? It is said that there is no Kshatriya in the world who is free of anger, that the Kshatriya who does not find his anger when the need arises is forever disrespected by all creatures. O king, you shall not forgive your enemies. With your power, you can defeat them all. Know also that the Kshatriya who does not forgive when the time for forgiveness comes is cursed by every creature and meets with destruction both in this world and the next. Oh my fucking god! Yeah, I can't. Well, I want to have the analysis of all of this later on. Kind of analysis. I think it is more of a yeah. This is what is really on here. Canto 28. Araña que parva contiene. Draupadi continues. Once Bali, son of Virochana, questioned his grandfather Pralada, the chief of the Shuras and the Danavas, possessed of great wisdom and versed in the subtleties of Dharana, saying, Sire, is forgiveness greater or strength and anger? I am unsure, Pitama. Enlighten me. Tell me, since you know Dharma so well, which is better? I will do whatever you command. Pralada said, Know this truth with certainty. Neither anger nor forgiveness is invariably greater. He that forgives suffers many ills. Servants and strangers and enemies disrespect him. No creature bows down to him. So these that learn do not approve constant forgiveness. The servants of an ever forgiving person will seek to deprive him of his wealth and belongings. They do not give others the things that they are directed to by their masters, nor do they give their masters the respect that is his due. Dishonor is worse than death. My child, sons, servants, attendants, and even strangers speak harshly to the man who always forgives. Disregarding this man, people even desire his wife, and his wife also behaves as she pleases. Servants who are not punished by their master acquire all sorts of vices, and some even insure such a master. These and many other ills afflict the ever forgiven. Listen now, O son of Birochana, to the troubles of those that never forgive. The man of wrath who, surrounded by darkness, uses his strength to constantly inflict punishment on others, whether they deserve or not, is separated from his friends. Such a man is hated by both relatives and strangers. Such a man, because he insults others, loses his wealth and reaps disregard, sorrow, hatred, bewilderment, and enemies. Because of his ire, the man of wrath listens to harsh words, is parted from his friends, relatives, prosperity, and his very life. He who uses his strength against both his friend and his foe is an object of alarm to the world. As a snake who has taken shelter in a house is to its residents. What prosperity can he have who alarms the world? People will hurt him whenever they have an opportunity. So, men should never use strength in excess, nor forgiveness on all occasions. One should use might and show forgiveness when appropriate. He who forgives at the proper time and is angry at the proper time finds happiness both in this world and the next. I will now tell you in detail about occasions prescribed by the sages for forgiveness, which everyone should observe. Listen carefully. If someone who has once done you a service wrongs you, even grievously, he must be forgiven in remembrance of the old service. Those who offend because they are ignorant or callow should be forgiven, because not all men are learned or wise. However, those who wrong you knowingly, even if their offense be trivial and they plead ignorance, must be punished. Such false, crude men should never be pardoned. Although every man's first offense should be forgiven, the second you must punish, even if it is trivial. But if a man offends you unwittingly, and his plea of ignorance is found to be true after a studious and thorough inquiry, he should be pardoned. Humility will vanquish might. Humility will also vanquish what humility will also vanquish weakness. There is nothing which humility cannot accomplish. Truly, humility is fiercer than it seems. One must act in accordance with place and time, taking note of his own strength or weakness. No undertaking which does not take place and time into account can succeed. Always wait upon place and time. Sometimes offenders should be forgiven from fear of the people. These have been declared to be times for forgiveness, while on other occasions force should be put forth against offenders. Draupadi continues, O king, I believe that this is time to use your strength and force. The Haratirastras, greedy sons, always seek to harm us, and this is no time to forgive them, but to use your power against them. The ever humble and forgiving person is disregarded, while those that are always fierce and persecute others are despised. But he is indeed a king, who takes recourse to both, each at their proper time. Okay, yeah. Kind of, I can properly say it now. Kind of unnecessary to have so much negativity born from Draupadi. I understand the character, but it seems more of an agitator than anything else in some occasions, because she was painted as somebody who was really good at the start, but slowly she's really saying, let's say, she's slowly really poisoning the well. Let's say like that, because the amount of I was going to say the amount of unnecessary comments that she has made and unnecessary remarks that she has also said about things that are wrong and this and that, and how capable are the Mandavas of doing this when this should supposedly be real dharma or karma, and all of this that makes her not look so good to a certain extent. So I wouldn't really know if she's such a good character in that case. She looks better when she was certainly, and this is the best example, when she was silent. Now that she's opening more her mouth, the stuff that she's spewing seems to be really ill intention because yeah, I can't in any way truly justify the oh yeah, you should try to not have this or that guy or these people or that people. You should always be punishing those who are doing you wrong and all of this. I think it was very well established that it is going to happen. Maybe it is only a way to move the plot to have this woman be so so hard-headed against punishing or towards punishing the statue and all of that. But it really kind of breaks the character when she's so incredibly toxic, I guess, is the best definition for all of it. So yeah, anyways, I think that is my whole analysis so far of these two last cantos. Let us simply continue. Canto 29. Aranyaga Parva continued. Yudhishthira says, anger is the slayer of men, and is again their prosperer. Wise one, know that anger is the root of all prosperity and all adversity. Beautiful one. He who restrains his anger prospers, while he who gives in always to his rage reaps adversity. In this world, anger is the cause of the destruction of every being. Then how can one like me indulge in anger when it can destroy the very world? The angry man commits sin. The angry man kills even his gurus. The angry man insults even his elders with harsh words. The man who is angry cannot distinguish between what he should and what should not say. There is nothing that an angry man will not do. No vile word that an angry man will not utter. In anger, a man might kill someone who does not deserve killing, and he might worship another who deserves to die. The angry man might even send his own soul to the land of Yama, seeing all this clearly. The wise control their anger, wishing for great prosperity both in this world and the next. This is why serene souls banish anger. How can I indulge in wrath? Draupadi, I reflect on this and do not allow my anger to be excited. He who does not respond to an angry man saves himself and others from great fear. Indeed, he can be regarded as the physician of both himself and the angry man. If a weak man is persecuted by men who are stronger than himself and foolishly turns his anger on them, he causes his own downfall. Such a one who deliberately throws away his life gains no realms of felicity in the hereafter. So, Draupadi, a weak man should always suppress his anger, and the wise man who, even though wronged, does not allow his anger to be roused, passing over his persecutor in indifference, enjoys great happiness in the next world. This is why it has been said that, be he strong or weak, the wise man forgives his enemy. Panchali. This is why the good applaud those who have conquered their wrath. Sage men believe that the honest and forgiving man is always victorious. Truth is even more beneficial than falsehood, and gentleness than cruelty. Then how can one like me show anger even to kill Duryodhana, when anger has so many faults, anger which men of Dharma banish from their souls? The wise surely regard those who only outwardly show anger as being men of character. Men of learning and true insight call him who can control his provoked anger through his wisdom a man of character. Oh, you of the fair hips, the angry man does not see things in their true light. He does not see his way or respect anyone. The angry man kills even those that do not deserve killing. The man of wrath kills even his preceptors. So, the man of character must always banish wrath to a distance. The man who is overwhelmed by anger does not easily acquire generosity, dignity, courage, skill, and the other qualities which belong with true character. By forsaking anger, a man can show his strength and energy at the proper time. While this is very difficult for the angry man to do, fools regard anger as being equivalent to strength, but wrath has been given to men for the destruction of the world. So, the man who wishes to live in Dharma must always forsake anger. For sure, those who abandon the virtues of their svadharma indulge anger. Faithless one, if fools, their minds full of darkness, transgress transgress Dharma in every way, why should I be like them and do the same? If there were none among men equal to the earth in forgiveness, there would be no peace in the world, but ceaseless strife caused by wrath. If the injured return their injuries, if one chastised by his superiors were to chastise his superior in return, the consequence would be the destruction of every creature, and sin will prevail throughout the world. If the man who is spoken harshly to speaks back savagely in turn, if fathers kill sons and sons their fathers, if husbands kill wives and wives husbands, Draupadi, how can there be any birds into such a world where anger held such sway? For, lovely one, note that men are born because there is peace. Panchali, if kings yield to wrath, their subjects quickly find death. The consequence of anger is distress and destruction for the people. It is because there are men who are as forgiving as the earth that all beings live and prosper. One should forgive every injury, for every species and race continues because man is forgiving. Truly, the wise and excellent man who has conquered his anger is he who forgives even when he is insulted, persecuted, and infuriated by a strong enemy. The man of power who controls his anger enjoys countless everlasting realms, when the angry man is known to be a fool and finds destruction both in this and the other world. O Krishna, the lustrous and forgiving sanctities of men who are always forgiving. Forgiveness is virtue. Forgiveness is sacrifice. Forgiveness is the Vedas. Forgiveness is the Saruti. He who knows this can forgive anything. Forgiveness is Brahma. Forgiveness is truth. Forgiveness is Punya. Forgiveness protects the Punya of the future. Forgiveness is Sannyasa. Forgiveness is holiness. And by forgiveness the universe is held together. Men of forgiveness attain the realms gained by those who perform great tapasya, or those who are masters of the Veda, or those that have great ascetic merit, those who perform Vedic yagnas, as also those who perform other sacred karma obtain lesser realms. While men of forgiveness find the adored realms which are Brahmaloka, forgiveness is the might of the mighty, forgiveness is sacrifice, forgiveness is quiet of mind. How, Krishna, can someone like me abandon forgiveness, in which Brahman, truth, wisdom, and the worlds are founded? Kasyapa said, the man of wisdom should always forgive, for when he is capable of forgiving everything, he attains Brahman. To this world belongs to those that are forgiven. The other world is also theirs. The forgiving find honor here, a state of blessedness hereafter. Men who subdue even their anger through forgiveness gain the loftiest realms. So has it been said that forgiveness is the highest virtue. So did Kasyapa sing of those who are ever forgiving. Panchali, having heard what he said, content yourself, do not give way to your anger. Or Pitama, Santanu's son Bhishma, will worship peace. Krishna, the son of Devaki, will worship peace. Acharya Drona and Vidura will both speak of peace. Kripa and Sankhya also will preach peace. And Somadatta and Yuyutsu and Dronason and our grandson Vyasa, every one of them always speaks of peace. Urged constantly by this towards peace, I believe that Dharatirashtra will return our kingdom to us. However, if he yields to temptation, he will beat with destruction. But Jali, a crisis has entered the history of the Maharatas to plunge them into doom. For some time now, I have been convinced of this. Suyodhana does not deserve the kingdom. and that is why he has not discovered forgiveness. I, however, do, and for that, forgiveness has possessed me. Forgiveness and gentleness are the qualities of the reposed man. They represent eternal virtue, and I will embrace these gunas. I have a question to a certain extent about who said what, because it feels very troubling to see that out of nowhere. The message becomes forgive so much on one hand, while on the other, the argument that Panchali was trying to make, or Krishna, was that you should be capable sometimes of forgiving, yeah, but also sometimes of really getting angry. I don't want to discredit Panchali as somebody who was literally, as I said before, poisoning the well, but it gets harder and harder to not see like that. Maybe the excuse in this case can be something like because she wasn't know she was trying to give a sort of punya that she believed to be completely true to the real possessor of punya, that is Yudhishthira. So she was correct on her ways, and now she has also this knowledge on her hands. The only weird thing is to take into account that the events are going to happen, and the Arjuna and Bhima are going to kill the Kurus. So I will theorize that probably she's going to go steal those two instead of simply leaving this particular thing alone. I don't know. I don't hope for that to happen, but maybe it will happen. I really don't know. But yeah, certainly, I can't even argue, and I believe it is properly explaining all of this. Really, forgiveness is a very important attribute, as it is put into these different words. Another another way to say it is also when you can allow yourself to forgive, you allow one of the most egoistical things that can happen to anyone, because you let go of what others try to attach to you as a weight, and you let go of things that are trying to be completely stick to your life and to your history as a human being, let's say. So if you are capable of forgiving, you also obtain the capacity of being more self-centered to a certain extent, because you stop caring for some things that before might as well have seemed more important than probably what they really were. And if you can even forgive the worst of the things, even more than it goes back into, yeah, you're doing great, basically. So yeah, I don't know. I can't really add that much from for anything of that sort. My words were properly put there. Anyways, continuing. Canto 30, Anayaka Parva continued. Draupadi says, I bow down to Datri and Vidhatri, who have so clouded your good senses. You think differently from your sires and grandsires about the burden you bear. Influenced by karma, men find themselves in various circumstances of life. Karma produces inevitable consequences. We wish for emancipation from mere folly. It seems that men can never attain prosperity in this world through virtue, gentleness, forgiveness, honesty, and fear of censure. If this were not so, O Mahabharata, this intolerable calamity will never have overtaken you. Why are you so deserving of it, and the waters of great Texas? Neither is your days of prosperity ignored in these overwhelmed cities, O Maharatas. Have you held anything as dear as Dharma, which you hold even dearer than life? The Brahmanas, your elders, the Devas know that your kingdom and your life are for Dharma alone. You will abandon Vivasena, Arjuna, the twin sons, sons of Madri and me, but you cannot leave Dharma. I have heard that the king protects Dharma, and Dharma protects him in return, but I do not see that Dharma protects you. Like his shadow pursues a man, your heart, O Purusha Vyagra, single-mindedly always seeks Dharma. Never have you disregarded your equals, your inferiors or superiors, even gaining the whole world, but I never touched you. O son of Prita, you always adored the Brahmanas, the Devas, and the Pitars, with Sattvas and other forms of worship, Kaunteya. You gratify Brahmanas by fulfilling their every wish. Yatis and Yasis and Grihastas have always been fed in your house from plates of gold, and I served their food. You always keep gold and food to Vanaprasthas. Why? There was nothing in your house which you could not give away to Brahmanas. During the Visvaveda sacrifice conducted for your peace in your palace, the consecrated offerings were always first given to Sadasyas and every other living being, while you contented yourself with whatever was left over. Ishti Pasubandha sacrifices for obtaining fruition of desires, the religious rites of domesticity, Paka sacrifices, and sacrifices of other kinds were constantly performed in the royal house. Even in this great forest, so so solitary and haunted by robbers, living in exile, divested of your kingdom, your dharma has sustained no diminution. You perform the Aswamedha, the Rajasuya, the Pundarika, and Gosava, the grandest yagnas which demand prodigious gifts and charity. Rahana, yet during the dire game of dice, perversity moved you to wager me as a stake. You lost your kingdom, your wealth, your weapons, your brothers, and me. You're simple, gentle, liberal, modest, and truthful. How, Rahan, could your mind be attracted to the vice of gambling? Ah, grief overwhelms my heart, and I am losing my mind to see this distress of yours, this calamity. Surely it is true that men are subject to the will of God, and ever to their own wishes. The Supreme Lord and Ordainer of all things ordains every joy and sorrow, all the happiness and misery of all creatures, even before they are born, in accordance with their karma, which is like a seed destined to sprout into this tree of life. O Kshatriya, God moves men as a puppeteer does his wooden puppets with his wires. Even as a casa covers everything, God pervades every creature and ordains it well or woe. As a beard tied with a string, every creature depends on God. Everyone is subject to God and none else. No one can decide his own fate. Eh, thank you for saying it. it is, I would say, yeah, it is an accent, Argentina. Thank you for liking it. And well, I hope also, just in case, if you know the words and you notice that I'm saying something wrong, please correct me because so far nobody has done so. And I will be thankful for that. Continue. Like a bird on its string, or a bull held by the rope through its nose, or a tree falling from the bank into the river, every creature follows God's command because they are imbued with His Spirit and because they are established in Him. Dependent on the universal soul, men cannot pass a moment independently. Enveloped in darkness, creatures are not masters of their own joy or sorrow. They go to heaven or hell, urged by God Himself. Like light straws fly on strong winds, all creatures, O Mahabharata, fly on God's will, and God pervades all creatures, engaged in deeds right and wrong. He moves in the universe, but none can say, "This is God." This body is only the means through which God causes every creature to reap fruits of karma, good and bad. Ah, look at God's Maya, which confounds men and makes them kill their fellows. Truth-knowing Munis see these bodies differently as the rays of the sun, which is the Lord, while ordinary men see the things of the earth otherwise. God creates them all, each one uniquely born and destroyed. O Yudhishthira, Brahma the Pitamaha spreads his Maya and kills his creatures through the agency of other creatures, even as one might split a piece of wood with another, crack a stone with another, or break a piece of iron with an iron rod. Lord sports with his creatures, creating and destroying them at his pleasure, like a child with his toy. O King, it does not seem to me that God treats his creatures as a father or a mother does their children. Rather, like a vicious man, he seems to treat them with anger, maliciously. Ah, I am deeply troubled, seeing good, superior men persecuted, while sinners thrive and are happy. I cannot think or speak well of the great ordainer, seeing your distress and Hannah's prosperity. How can God suffer such iniquity? What does he gain by allowing Hannah, who breaks every sacred law, who is greedy and crooked, who grievously harms Dharma, to prosper? If a dead dawn pursues the door and none else, then certainly it is God Himself who is stained with the sin of every act. If, however, the sin of an action does not attach to the door, then might and not God is the true cause of whatever happens, and I grieve for those who are weak and have no prowess. I think it is, what I said before can be kind of taken back, because it gives Karna kind of a different position, taking into consideration that now she's very much transgressing what had been real problems so far. Yeah, and how she decided to finally uh, fulfill kind of the role of the spectator to a certain extent of telling Yudhishthira that certainly it is not so good to pardon everything, and even more that how can he not find anger and to understand that things are going to get once again bad. So it is very, very good to see that happen in particular. The only amazing thing, also, aside from that, is the fact that somehow uh, she kind of is going on the idea of how can there be a god that allows this type of stuff. Very, I mean, you wouldn't expect to see something like this from somebody who should supposedly be very well learned on the, yeah, on the Astras and all of that. No, on the Vedas and all of that. So I don't know, very, very subversive, as they would say. But yeah, let's see, because yeah, not that really much more to consider from there. I mean, you can try to say, for example, that certainly what happens is uh, her position is very much the one of trying to show the king, Yudhishthira, what is correct and what is wrong. But at the same time, it also happens that certainly sometimes she doesn't do it properly. In other occasions, as it should happen, it feels very much good, but we still have to see. So yeah, continue a little bit more, I guess. Yeah, a little bit more. Canto 31. Arayano Parva continues. Yudhishthira says, you speak beautifully, Yagnaseni, your words smooth, your phrases delightful. I have listened carefully to what you say, but you speak the language of atheism. Ah, princess, I never do anything for the fruits of what I do. I give because it is my duty to give. I sacrifice because it is my duty to sacrifice. Krishna, I do the best of my ability, whatever a grihasta should do, regardless of whether what I do benefits me or not. Wrong hit one. I act virtuously, not from the desire to reap the fruits of virtue, but so that I do not break the ordinances of the Veda, and also with an eye on the conduct of the good and wise. Krishna, my heart is drawn naturally towards virtue. The man who wishes to reap the fruits of virtue is a trader in virtue. His nature is base, and he can never be counted among the virtues, nor does he ever gain the fruit of his actions. The man of sinful heart, who does a virtuous thing, but does dharma in his mind, he, too, does not obtain the fruits of his deed, because of his skepticism. I speak to you by the authority of the Vedas, which constitute the highest proof in these matters. You must never doubt Dharma. The man who adopts Dharma is destined to be born into bestial species. The man of weak understanding who adopts the religion, virtue of the or the words of the rishis is excluded from the realms of immortality and bliss, even as are Sudaras from the Vedas. Intelligent one, if a young child born into a noble race studies the Vedas and conducts himself virtuously, great Rajarishis regard him as a mature sage, notwithstanding his years. But the sinner that adopts Dharma and transgresses the scriptures is regarded as even lower than Sudras and robbers. With your own eyes you have seen the Maharishi Markandeya of immeasurable soul come to us. Through Dharma alone did he acquire immortality in his very body. Vyasa, Vasishta, Maitreya, Narada, Lomasa, Sukha, and other rishis have all been purified through Dharma alone. You see them with your own eyes as having the power of divine asceticism, able to curse or bless, and superior to the devas themselves. Anagha, sinless one, all this equal to the devas. Look at what is written in the Vedas and describe virtue as the foremost dharma, sweet queen. So it does not become you to either doubt or censure God, or to act rashly. The fool that adopts religion and disregards virtue, being proud of his own reasoning, does not regard other great reasons, and think of the rishis who see the past, present, and the future as being madmen. The fools regards only the external world as being capable of gratifying his senses, and is blind to everything else. He who adopts religion finds no expiation. The miserable one is full of anxiety, and gains no realms of bliss hereafter. A heretic, a slanderer of the Veda, a sinner moved by lust and greed, he goes to hell. On the other hand, he who always cherishes Dharma with faith finds eternal bliss in the other world, while the fool who does not who, who not thus keep Dharma, disregarding all the proofs which the rishis offer, does not prosper in any life. Have no doubt, lovely one, that he who pays no heed to what the rishis say, and to their lives as living proof, he finds no joy in this world or the next. Draupadi, do not doubt the ancient Dharma which good men live by, the religion framed by sages of universal knowledge who can see all things. Dharma is the only raft for those who want to find heaven, even as a ship is to merchants who want to cross the sea. Faultless one, if the Dharma by which men of Dharma live were fruitless, all the universe would be shrouded in infamous darkness. No one will then pursue moksha, no one will seek to acquire knowledge or even wealth, but men will live like beasts. If sannyasa, the austerities of brahmacharya, sacrifices, study of the Vedas, charity, honesty were all fruitless, men would not have practiced dharma and virtue, generation after generation. If all karma was fruitless, dreadful chaos would prevail. Think, why do rishis and devas and gandharvas and rakshasas, all of whom are not human, treasure dharma with such love? Knowing for certain that God rewards the practice of dharma, they all observe dharma. Dharma Panchali is eternal prosperity. While we see the fruit of both jnana and tapasya, dharma and dharma, virtue and sin, cannot be without their fruit. Krishna, just think of the circumstances of your own beard, as you have heard of it, and the beard of the mighty Drishtadyumna. O you of the sweet smiles, what better proof of the value of Dharma? They that have their minds under control reap the fruit of their actions, and are content with little. The ignorant are not content with what they receive here, however much it might be, because they have no joy born of virtue to inherit in the hereafter. When Dharma and Dharma appear to prove fruitless and the very origin of all karma, why, my beautiful one, these are mysterious even to the gods. Not everyone knows these things. Certainly, not ordinary men. The Devas preserve the mystery. For the Maya, which obscures what the gods do, is inscrutable. Those regenerate ones who have destroyed all desire, who have founded their aspirations on Bharatas, Sannyas and Tapasya, who have burnt up all their sins, and in whose minds and hearts quietness, peace and holiness dwell, they understand all this. So, though you might not see the fruits of Dharma, you must never doubt Dharma or the gods. You must perform sacrifices with a will and practice charity with insolence. All karma in this world has its fruit, and Dharma is eternal. Brahma himself told this to his sons, as Kahyapa has said. So, let your doubts be dispelled like mist, Draupadi. Reflecting on all this, let your skepticism give way to faith. Do not slander God, who is the Lord of all creatures. Learn how to know Him. Bow down to Him. Do not let your mind be sad, and never disregard the Supreme Being, through whose grace mortal men, with piety, find immortality. Eh, I would like to see. eh, yeah, I think the response will be more interesting than whatever else I have to say, just in case. But to not lose the tradition of trying to give a little bit of a response from my side to the text, I will do it. Anyways, because I think there are still some things that can be considered. Certainly, even more taking into consideration that, as I tend to say here, I might not align so much with the message sometimes. So yeah, it is certainly hard to explain what happens when they utilize so much God and religion and all of those things in this type of context. Because you can see and you can believe that they are true to a certain extent, but certainly we have to take into consideration that it is too much of a once again the problem of my religion is the correct one, and the one that you are in is so wrong. You might as well, if by God wanted that, you will be completely there. So something of that sort. Uh, it it has a good starting point. I will try to argue, and it has a good stepping stone towards the whole idea of certain. Trying to follow faith and trying to have faith in life is kind of even a must, I will say, but not paying attention to the fact that certainly there also is a limit and there also is a necessity of asking back to, in this case, God, if all of these things are real or not, and if all of these things are proper or not, is also part of the tradition, I would say, because taking it from the viewpoint of somebody who really believes in God, shouldn't you ask if something is really like this when you notice that the older rules or the things that God told you before completely do not align with what is happening, like in this case? Because certainly I wouldn't like to simply define Krishna in this case. I uh, I believe maybe yeah, it was planted, I would say, as a way to introduce a more. Remember that being Hinduistic is good, guys. Something like that. This whole part. That is why she ended up questioning God, something like that, out of nowhere. Although I said it was nice before. Uh, but to question it is also necessary because it certainly applies what I said before. You are not talking about God and you are not observing God properly if you do not realize that out of nowhere your God acts completely at random, even almost not following what you know should be Dharma. So, if we decide as supposedly followers of God do not interrogate what is going on and what should be our type of action in these occasions, we might as well be kind of foregoing of our responsibility to a certain extent, because we should certainly want to be those who pay attention to what is going on and have the possibility of saying, wait, is this a weird type of test or something that I might have to completely surpass? Or is this really just an error? Because trying to connect with what had been said before also, being humble is important. For the Mahabharata, being honest is also important. So, to hide that you are noticing things going wrong, because oh no, God Almighty is really another way of deceitfulness, I will argue. But I think that is like an add on this without being too disruptive to what is being said. Because I think there are still some parts that might be useful from from what was said. It is better than nothing at the very least, so yeah, continue. Also, wait, I want to see how many more I will try to do. I mean, yeah, I will see, I will see. Anyways, what, before yeah. So, continuing. Canto 32. Arranca para continuar. Draupadi says, son of Prita, I never disregard. No, sorry, it was Draupadi. Sorry. Son of Prita, I never disregard to slander Dharma. Why would I disregard God, the Lord of all creatures? Oh, Maharata, I am grief stricken and ranting. Yet, I will lament again. I must listen to me. Oh, Parantapa, every conscious creature must certainly perform karma in this world. Only the immobile, not other beings, might live without doing. Immediately after its birth, the calf sucks its mother's teeth. Why? Men feel pain when fell mantras are chanted using their statues. So, O Yudhishthira, it seems that beings derive the character of their lives from their karma of past births. Among the mobile, man differs from the rest in that he aspires to affect the course of his life in this and the other world through his deeds. All creatures visibly reap the fruit of their karma of past lives. Indeed, all creatures exist because of past karma. Even Brahma, the creator and the ordainer of the universe, even as a can lives untaught in water. If a creature does nothing, it cannot live. All beings must act. You must also act, and not incur censure by abandoning karma. Cover yourself with deeds as with armor. Among 1,000 men, there is first up one who truly knows the word of karma, of action. One must act to protect oneself and to increase one's wealth. For if a man only spends without earning, even if he owns a hoard as great as Himavan, it will quickly be exhausted. But for karma, doing all the cre- but for karma, doing all the creatures of this world would have become extinct. If karma bore no fruit, the created would never have multiplied. We see that at times men perform karma even though it bears no fruit, for without doing, life's course itself would be impossible. Those in this world who believe in destiny, and those again who believe in chance, are both the worst among men. Only those that believe in the efficacy of karma are laudable. He who does nothing, believing just in destiny, is soon destroyed, even like an unburnt earthen pot in water. Also, he that believes in chance and sits idly through he can act, does not live long, for his life is one of weakness and helplessness. If a man gains wealth without effort, it is told that he does so by chance. If he acquires fortune through religious rites, it is deemed providential. But the fruit gained through his own actions is proof of his ability. Best of men, wealth gained through chance is called spontaneous acquisition, Wealth thus again is through the karma of a previous life. God dispenses the fruit of the karma of past lives to men in this world, good and bad. This body is only the instrument in God's hands for the performance of karma, inert or itself. It does what God urges it to do. Kaunteya, it is the Supreme Lord of all who makes every creature do what it does. The creatures themselves are inert, O Kshatriya. Deciding upon some purpose in his mind, man accomplishes it, working with his intelligence. Thus we say that man himself is the cause of what he does. Purusharishabha, it is impossible to count the deeds of men, for mansions and cities are the result of men's deeds. Intelligent men know that oil may be had from sesame, curds from milk, and that food can be cooked by igniting fuel. They also know that the means for accomplishing all this, and knowing them, they use the required appliances to accomplish them. Through what they do, men support their lives. If a skilled workman does something, it is well executed, and the opposite happens if a thing is done by an unskillful hand. In karma, if a man was not himself his own karma's door and cause, then no sacrifice will bear any fruit for him, and nor will anyone be a guru or a sishya. It is because a man himself is the cause of his work that he is applauded when he achieves success, and he is censured when he fails. If this were not so, who will, eh, eh, who will praise and blame be justified? Some say that everything is the result of providence, others that this is not so, but that everything is the result of karma, good and bad, of past lives. Chance fetches possessions, as also does destiny. Some things are gained through exertion. There is no fourth cause. So say those who know the truth, men of jnana. However, if God himself did not dispense good and bad fruit, then there will be no misery among the created. If the effects of past karma are a myth, then a man will achieve everything for which he strives. So, those who believe that chance, destiny, and effort are the only causes of success, and who deny the effects of karma from past lives, are doomed. Why? Inert as the body itself. Yet, a man must act. Manu himself has said so. He who does not act surely succumbs. O Yudhishthira, while the man of action usually finds success in this world, the idle never succeeds. If success becomes impossible, one seeks to remove the obstacles on one's path to it. Rahan, if a man works, his debts of karma are paid, whether he succeeds or not. Adversity overtakes the idle man, while the active, skillful one will certainly prosper. Intelligent men who engage confidently in karma regard others as being faithless and failures. They think of the confident and the faithful as being men of success. Misery has found us now, but if you act against it, it will surely be removed. If you fail, it will prove that Bhima, Arjuna, and the twins cannot take the kingdom back. But since the efforts of most men meet with success, it is likely that we shall also have what we strive for. How can anyone predict whether we shall win or lose? Only if you act will you know what fruit your action will bring. The tiller tills the soil with his plough and sows seeds. He then sits quiet, for only the clouds can bring the rain which will make his seeds grow into plants. If the clouds do not favor him, he is absolved from blame. He says to himself, I have done what others do. If despite this I have failed, the fault is not mine, and he does not reproach himself. O Mahabharata, no one should despair, saying, Oh, I am doing what I should, yet success is not mine. For there are two other causes besides exertion for success. One should never despair about the success or failure of any undertaking, because both depend upon the concatenation of many circumstances. If one important element is wanting, success does not come immediately, sometimes not at all, but without exertion there can never be any success. Nor is there anything to applaud in abstaining from action, the intelligent put forth altered mind, bringing together time, place, means, and auspicious rights to acquire prosperity. With care and vigilance, a man must set himself to his task, his main strength being his prowess, in the union of qualities needed to succeed in any undertaking. Prowess, ability seems to be the main. When the intelligent man sees that his enemy is superior to himself in many ways, he will seek success through conciliation, but he must wish his enemy ill and seek his banishment. Why speak of mortal men? Even if his enemy were the ocean or the mountains, these motives should guide him. A man who seeks to strike at his enemy's weaknesses discharges his dharma to himself and his own. No man should ever disparage himself, for he who does never finds great prosperity. O Mahabharata, only through such endeavors can success be found in this world. Indeed, success in the world depends on acting when the time and circumstances arrive. My father used to keep a learned Brahmana with him, Bharata Rishabka. He said all this to my father. My brothers first heard these tenets of Dharma, uttered by Brihaspati himself. It was from them that I heard this later in my father's house. Yudhishthira, whenever I have time, I will go and sit on my father's lap, and that knowing Brahmana will recite these truths to me, sweetly consoling me by what he said. Eh, eh, okay, yeah. I think this is this is a good point to stop. It is getting too heavy. I certainly have strength for around 3 hours, I think. No, not really 3 hours between the break and the start and all of that, but close to that. So yeah, it gets to the end sometimes, sadly, I guess. Still, as always, a pleasure to read it, and a pleasure to have the possibility of reading it, as always. But yeah, brain squishy, too much discussion of the same idea 20 times in a row or so. I understand it. Now, please change topics. But I mean, there are still some other pieces of knowledge very, very interesting. So yeah, we are done. We are done today. Amazing, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Very much enjoyable, I would say. But yeah, very intense when it wants to be like that. But yeah, certainly good, certainly good. What do I have anything else to really say? I mean, no, I don't think I have that much more to add or that much more to really try to insert over here. Truly enjoyable, I would say. As always, it was a nice opportunity, and it was not simply a nice opportunity, but a very enjoyable thing to go over this. Very, very good, as always. And well, yeah, I guess we're a bit late on. Yeah, I will go try to take my rest to probably get some sleep and all of that. As always, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for looking. Thanks for watching the vlog. Thanks for everything. But yeah, we're kind of done. It's too heavy sometimes. So yeah, I guess kind of expected. But anyways, as always, thanks for everything, people. Now we shall carry it away. Oh my god. Yeah. Very nippy. Goodbye, everybody. Let me say this properly. As always, we have a nice occasion here, but we have to close it. Well, whenever we can, we're going to be back here. I haven't decided if tomorrow I am again going to stream. Probably yes, but if I don't, if I never were to stream again, at the very least, we'll show you what we have here now. So we can go to sleep properly, we can take some hydration, we can do our deeds. with a smile on our face because we enjoyed what we have here today. So that is what matters the most. Thanks as always for time, for the appreciation, for everything. Now, remember to stay safe, remember to stay nice, remember to stay happy, dreamful, have an objective, do things, act. As it was repeated like 20 times in the last canto, act instead of unacting. I don't know. Goodbye, everybody. This is it. Wow.